A hearty good morning to everybody, and welcome to the University of Pennsylvania for the Philadelphia Catholic League Baseball Championship game, and it's live here on Bob Long Sports. Let's now bring you all inside our broadcast booth. What a crew we have here today. First off on the camera outside, Jack Burns, who's been doing things with us all year. He's as good as it gets, best in the business, and as I look to my left, I see a sophomore at LaSalle, Jack McGuire, who's done an unbelievable job covering LaSalle and Philadelphia Catholic League baseball all year. You deserve this assignment, my friend, and welcome to a big-time game and a big-time moment.
Thanks, Bob. It's great to be here.
Yeah, and we'll get into a lot of the things that you've learned in Philadelphia Catholic League circles this year as we bring the broadcast to you. To my immediate left is Jimmy Herron, a LaSalle baseball legend. I don't know if you are tied or maybe have the lead outright. 2 state championships in baseball in your time with the program. Unbelievable career at Duke, a long minor league career. Oh, by the way, maybe one of, maybe not the best. Well, he was the best. You, Joey O'Brien, who's the best receiver in LaSalle football history, Jimmy? We'll put you on the spot right away.
I think he's got me beat in the talent category, that's for sure.
Well,
they were fun to watch.
He was chasing down all your records, caught some, didn't quite catch all. So you guys are absolutely on the Mount Rushmore of LaSalle football. But we are here to talk baseball today, Jimmy, and you know your love, the sport that took you the furthest heights. And when you think about this LaSalle baseball program, it took some big steps from the time that you came on campus to the time you left, 2 state championships in between. What was your time like with LaSalle baseball, and what's it like to see what Kyle Werman has done year over year to take over and continue Joe Parisi's legacy?
Yeah, it was an exciting time, kind of finishing out the Joe Parisi era, who was a legend in his own right. Won that state championship in 2012 my freshman year, and we kind of just kept growing, and getting to play for Coach Werman my senior year was awesome. And yeah, he's just continued to take this program to new heights, and they've really been great the times I have gotten to see them play. And yeah, I'm excited to watch this game. It's going to be good. Great field, great stadium. So
Kyle Werman has a championship of his own, Jimmy. In 2021, Ryan Marlar went on this Herculean wild card type run all the way to a state championship, and they hope, Jack, that Cooper Weiss can be that same type of pitcher here and carry them through a postseason. It's the unique thing about high school baseball. You need 3-4 guys with lots of midweek games, but when you get to this point in the calendar, 2 pitchers can take you home to a state title. Cooper Weiss will need to be one of them, but he's got a big game here today. What are some of the challenges that he'll face this afternoon?
Just the first challenge, a very talented Egan offense. And the second challenge, Weiss has been on kind of a Monday schedule all year. He's been out on the mound on Mondays, and then playoffs roll around. He throws on a Wednesday against O'Hara, and here on 8 days rest against Egan on a Friday. So I think kind of getting used to all days of the week, like you said, but very talented Egan offense. Cooper Weiss, even when he doesn't have his best stuff, he can roll.
And you mentioned off-air, Jack, but he just hit a little milestone himself. Not going to be the point of concern or contention today, but he did hit a big milestone recently.
50 career strikeouts. He has been on varsity since his freshman year, hasn't had that opportunity to go until this year. Coach Werman said at the beginning of the year, Cooper Weiss, one of the guys that can go all 7 for the Explorers.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. His story, very, very interesting because he's had injuries, sophomore and junior year. Actually pitched some his freshman year, and you thought this is going to be a guy, 50 strikeouts, right? That'll happen by the end of his sophomore year, but it's really all been incorporated into this year, and he's made the most of his senior campaign. On the other side of the mound, it's going to be Brady Guzzi, and we were not sure who we would see. 2 flamethrowers for Conwell-Egan, but Brady Guzzi certainly has the pedigree to that name. He's throwing the ball in the low 90s. He has a plus bat. He has a plus glove. He could play at the college level in the field as a pitcher. He right now is committed to the University of Virginia. Certainly the major league clubs will come sniffing around this time next year, Jimmy. So we're going to see one of the best arms we've seen in Philadelphia in a long time take the hill this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. A lefty arm with that stuff, the velocity's there, the mechanics are there, so he'll definitely garner some attention. And he's actually going down to Virginia to play for my former coach, Chris Pollard, and that staff. So they'll do a great job with him, I know, and I'm sure if he sneaks out and misses the draft next year, he'll have a great opportunity to develop down there in Charlottesville.
Let's meet the Conwell-Egan Eagles, coached by Jeff Manto. Jeff Manto had a long career in the major leagues for 8 different teams. Maybe the coolest thing I've seen and heard, he is one of about 30 players in Major League history tied for the record with 4 home runs in 4 consecutive at-bats. And in Jeff's case, he did it over the span of 3 different games. Also a big league hitting coach for 2 different teams, Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago White Sox, who is able to steward Adam Dunn as he went through his major league career. And then in the Pittsburgh Pirates system, the thing I don't know if he takes the most credit for, but is very interesting, is that Jose Bautista is a guy that when he was struggling and up and down from the minors said, that's a guy that could hit 40 home runs if he could replicate his swing 3 days in a row. I think he was right about that. Now we'll meet the LaSalle College High School Explorers. Caden Cortez will play third base, Caden Schmidt in center field. The 3 hitters, Bryson Clark, the first baseman. Luke Borgman, the cleanup hitter, will catch. Ronnie Raby, number 10, will play second base, a big-time infielder and a great defensive player up the middle. Keegan Wade, a senior shortstop, batting 6th. He started the year in the 1 hole, and due to some injury, and Caden Cortez just taking a great spot at the top of the lineup. Wade is now going to knock hitters in from the 6 hole. Michael O'Connor starts in left field and bats 7th. Alex Hissam, a right fielder, also a guy that will be a quick hook if needed and could come in to relief. And Matthew Wombold, the designated hitter. For Conwell-Egan, Keegan Johnson, Danny Freitag, and Brady Guzzi, the first 3 hitters. Connor Lando, Tommy Kalita, Jake McLean. CJ Cuevas, Chase Garofolo bats 8th, and Colin Laverty, the 9-hole hitter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with first tip pitch coming up next on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed the most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
Welcome back, everybody, to the University of Pennsylvania. LaSalle College High School, the home team this afternoon for the Catholic League Championship game. It's going to be a really good one here today. Let's meet the defensive starters for LaSalle College High School. Caden Schmidt can run down balls in center field really well. Hism in right field, Michael O'Connor in left. Keegan Wade starts at shortstop here today with Ronnie Raby, his partner, up the middle. Caden Cortez at third, Bryson Clark at first. Luke Borgman, the catcher, starting to throw out guys, as Kyle Werman told us, hey, the pitchers are just getting to the plate quicker. It's never been a Borgman thing. He has a pop time as good as anybody. The pitcher's giving him a chance, and Cooper Weiss, as Jack mentioned, got to the 50 strikeout mark, almost all of that here in his senior campaign. He's been the guy all year long for this LaSalle team. Jack, what stands out to you about this starting lineup?
I think you just said it. Cooper Weiss on the year, 7-1 in 9 appearances. He's gone 46 2/3 innings pitched on the mound, letting up 38 hits, 18 runs, and 12 earned runs. He's walked 11 but struck out 40, like you said, a majority coming in his senior year. He's only hit 3 batters on the year. He's got a 1.8 ERA, 720 total pitches, and 195 total batters faced.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Eagles of Conwell-Egan, team that's done a really good job since Jeff Manto has come on. They've started to take some of the talent from the Archbishop Woods of the world, the Father Judges of the world, even Holy Ghost Prep. They have a transfer from that team, and you're going to see a lot of really talented players on this starting roster, starting with Keegan Johnson, who plays at the shortstop position. Johnson hitting it at .362 on an average standpoint, 9 ribbies, 21 hits on the year. Bring your attention to Brady Guzzi, starting pitcher, third hitter, hitting .364 on the year. He has 12 extra base hits and 18 RBIs to lead the team. Connor Lando right behind him with 18 RBIs as well, hitting it at .333. Caleb Cuevas goes by CJ. CJ Cuevas has an opportunity to take an opportunity in relief for Brady Guzzi if he doesn't go the whole way, but is the DH. Chase Garofalo, Colin Laverty, the 8-9 hitters. About ready to go here. Bob Long, Jimmy Herron, and Jack McGuire. We'll bring you back inside the booth one last time as we get you ready for first pitch. Jimmy, again, welcome back. I know a lot of folks in the LaSalle community are excited to have you back. Philadelphia Catholic League baseball fans, excited to see you on the broadcast this evening, helping to showcase young men that were in your position. They're in the position you were in, a little bit more than a decade ago.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. It's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jack McGuire with me here, too. He's been doing yeoman's work covering this program all year. Thanks for being with us here today.
Of course. Once again, thanks for having me.
So we'll get a look at Cooper Weiss coming from the left-hand side of the mound. A Scranton commit, the 7-1 record that Jack mentioned before. He's gotten every start on schedule this year. He'll go fastball, slider, changeup. Relies on pitchability, loves to compete, and relies on that defense behind him. He'll have to command the strike zone here today and work his way through an extremely challenging lineup. Keegan Johnson, as we mentioned, a senior for Conwell-Egan, starting and leadoff hitter. He'll play his baseball at Penn State Brandywine. He was a shortstop for 3 years, moved to second base earlier this season. Cullen Edwards was the starting shortstop for most of the season. He got injured semi-recently, and so Johnson moved back to his normal position just 2 weeks ago. And it's an opportunity here for him in the shortstop position to get things started. All Catholic, Carpenter Cup candidate. Johnson will get things started.
Bob Johnson batting .362 on the year, 9 RBIs, 21 hits, perfect leadoff man for the Eagles. He's got 7 doubles. A double would put Egan in a good spot here.
The Philadelphia Catholic League Baseball Championship is underway. A fastball missed just high above the letters. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson again leaves that one above the hands. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 fastballs thus far for Cooper Weiss, number 29. A commanding presence up there on the mound. Here's the 2-0, and again, that one was right at the letters. He got the call that time. 2 balls and a strike.
Cooper Weiss going very fast tempo.
Just high again. Every pitch, Jimmy, has been right around the letters there. 3 balls and a strike. Dangerous position here as you've missed a few up. The 3-1 delivery, and that one finds the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, credit to Johnson for kind of staying in his zone. He could have went after a few of those, but not always a pitch you can drive. So
here's the 3-2. Popped up and out of play. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Weiss looks like he's really trying to establish that fastball, which is smart. First time through the order.
If you feel real confident, maybe that 3-2 slider here. Comes home with a fastball. It's popped up to right field. And calling him off is Ronnie Raby. Bryson Clark dove to the side. A nice job there. Good communication and 1 away.
You mentioned it earlier, Bob, but Raby has been the second baseman all of this year and all of last year on a very talented LaSalle program. That's hard to do as a junior, but he came in last year and earned his spot. Remained there all of last year, and once again, this year has been fantastic.
Salve Regina will get his services next year as he goes to play baseball at the next level. There's the first slider we saw in there for a called strike 1. This is Danny Freitag, the junior right fielder, digging in. And that one is hit well foul. Got ahead of that one, and Cooper Weiss looks like has the scouting report down. 7 fastballs to Keegan Johnson, and now 2 sliders to Danny Freitag.
Yeah, you're coming up to the plate thinking like, all right, better get on that fastball. Here's a couple breaking balls.
Here's the 0-2. Goes high with the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's a good idea there, right? You're slowing down that bat, and then you speed it up. Just didn't quite make the fastball believable enough on the high one. A ball and 2 strikes. That is hit to right field. It's got some legs to it. Hissam is back. He's chasing him back even further. It goes off the top of the wall. And all the way to third base. Rolls Danny Freitag. 1 out, triple. 1 more look here as that ball just continued to travel on Hissam. Well, Sal, very fortunate that it didn't leave the yard.
Great swing there. Looks like it was top of the wall and back. Their managers just double checking with the umpiring crew.
Yeah, the Conwell-Egan faithful thought that hit something beyond the fence and came back into play. Brady Guzzi, the total package per Jeff Mantel. Top outfielder, he says, in the PCL. Top pitcher, MVP. Manto's only gripe is that he didn't get the MVP last year. 1 out. Missed high with a fastball to Guzzi. We'll see Guzzi on the hill in the bottom half of the first. From the stretch, Weiss brings it in just above the letters again. 2 balls, no strikes. That's been the miss early on here, Jimmy, is the high fastball.
Yeah, a little inside there, too. I think that's where his fastball plays best, but to get it down just a tad.
Swung on and missed. went with the slider, and Guzzi was sitting dead red on the fastball in the hitter's count.
That's a really good pitch to get back in the count, 2-0, to have the confidence to throw that to their best hitter. That's a great pitch.
LaSalle will concede the run at third. Shifted slightly to the right-hand side, and that is grounded into that shift. They're going to get the out. Really nicely done by Wade. Good job by Kyle Werman and that staff. Certainly can't have guys on the other side of second base, Jimmy, but as you can see here, shifted well up the middle, and it leads to the out. Egan gets the run, but now 2 out and nobody on.
Yeah, smart baseball. That was that used to be a hit 25 years ago. Good baseball all around, too. Man on third, less than 2 outs. Put something in play, hard on the ground, you get the run. LaSalle, you trade an out for a run early in the game.
Thought he doubted the outside corner. Just missed off the edge. 1 ball, no strikes. This is Connor Lando. That one is right on the corner. Good pitch that time for Cooper Weiss. The question in the offseason was, who is going to protect Guzzi? And Jeff Manto picked this young man. Connor Lando, he's been in the 4-hole all year long. Says he's the toughest kid on the roster, second in the league, and runs batted in. PSU greater Allegheny will get his services next year. That one missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Jack McGuire, you've seen more of Cooper Weiss than anybody this year. What have you seen out of him through the first half?
I think you can get these outings where he struggles a little bit to find the zone early, but once he gets going, and he's got a tough batter here, batting .333 on the year. Like you said, Bob, 18 RBIs, 18 hits. Not the guy you want to face.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Beg your pardon, 3-1, and that missed inside, ball 4. 2 outs, 1 man on. Next up is Tommy Kalita, the most improved player for Conwell-Egan at the catcher's position. And in fact, it was quite a direct discussion he had in the offseason with his head coach. It says, hey, you're not going to be able to catch here next year if you can't make some of the routine plays. And assistant Barry Needler turned him into an all-Catholic catcher. Kalita bought in. He's been in the gym, on the field as much as anybody this season. Now he has the opportunity to win a Catholic League championship as a starting catcher and in the 5-hole. He's had a heck of a season.
.319 batting average.
Oh,
they might have him there.
Yep.
They do have him. Brilliant move to first from Cooper Weiss. Caught Connor Lando cheating towards second.
Got him leaning just enough there.
So LaSalle gives up just the 1 run. Brady Guzzi will come onto the mound, and we'll get things started. Let's meet the LaSalle starting lineup. Batting order will go Caden Cortez, third baseman. Junior, 2-way player, started the year very, very hot, and so flipped up, as we mentioned in the first inning when Keegan Wade was dinged up for a little bit, and they found a better spot for both of them. Cortez in the 1-hole and Keegan Wade in more of the RBI spot in the 6-hole. Caden Schmidt, senior, will bat second. Bryson Clark, a first baseman, senior as well. Very senior-heavy lineup. Luke Borgman in as well. He's the catcher and will bat fourth, heading to UMass Lowell next year. Ronnie Raby, we saw him make a play in the first inning. The senior at second base. Keegan Wade, the shortstop, bats sixth. Michael O'Connor in left field, bats seventh. Alex Hism, really interested to see if they go with a change-up mix and get some of that. Hism from the right side, different look later in this contest on the pitching side, but he'll bat eighth and play right field for now. Matthew Wombold, a designated hitter, a senior, will get into his story as we move along as well. Conwell-Egan defensively, the battery mates, Brady Guzzi and Tommy Kalita, Jake McLean, Colin Laverty, Keegan Johnson, and Gavin Hartley. Going around the infield, Chase Garofalo, Connor Lando, and Danny Freitag in right field. Jack, I know you've been chomping at the bit to tell us a little bit about Brady Guzzi and what he's been able to do this year.
Well, Bob, you mentioned his hitting stats. Coming into this game on his career at Egan, 59 hits and 30 RBIs with 211 strikeouts. So really get the best of both worlds with him. On this year, 1-0 in 10 appearances, 53 2/3 innings pitched, 18 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs allowed. He's walked 13 and struck out 101. He's only hit one batter, and he has a .52 ERA, 762 total pitches.
He's a generational arm. He'll sit around 90, top out 92, 93. Jeff Manto told us, hey, he thinks he has a AA fastball already, plus command, a riding fastball, it stays in the zone. With a show-me curveball and then a finishing curveball, he can do the same on the slider side. He ends up throwing about 8 pitches, right, if you give him the show-me and then the burying on each of those. That is hit into right field on the first pitch of the contest, riding towards foul play, and
Wow.
it is fair. That is fair into the corner. We can't even see it here, and it's an opening triple. What a start for Caden Cortez. First pitch swinging, and into the abyss it goes, but the umpire had the best view at it, and Caden Cortez, what a start.
Coming out aggressive, and early it looks like the ball's carrying a little bit to right field, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Nothing new for Cortez. He had a leadoff triple against Roman Catholic earlier this year, although that one got called back because he missed first base, but little redemption here.
Well, see, that's why we have you here, because that won't be on the score sheet. That'll be an out. So you're one of the only ones here, certainly the only one in this booth that would have been able to tell us that. A slider missed high from Brady Guzzi.
That was his 4th real triple, though.
That's right.
On the year.
Guzzi missed on the fastball, buried it. Caden Schmidt up to bat, Offensive Player of the Year in the Philadelphia Catholic League, was last year's MVP. First team All-Catholic League and a Seton Hall commit, and left that one above the hands. 3 balls and no strikes early here. Jimmy, what do you think? Green light?
With a man on third, less than 2, I think you can be aggressive. And he is.
And he did.
Fouls
He popped it up
but
and
that's
out
a
of
great
play.
swing. You know, because there, even a miss hit to the outfield, you can get a sac fly out of it. A ground ball, you're still going to get a run.
He's sitting on 1 pitch and 1 pitch only here. Dead red on 3-0, and he did take a heck of a cut at it. Now 3 balls and a strike. And that is hit into the outfield. It will be playable. And will they hold at third or send the runner? It's a shallow fly ball, and that's a cannon to the plate. There was no chance to score that runner. Connor Lando on the put out.
Yeah, it's a great throw by Lando. He worked behind it really well. Ball didn't tail off at all. Perfect one hop, and that's what the catchers like, something easy to handle there. Smart play by LaSalle, too. I think with no outs, you take your chances here. Still got 1, can still sac fly. Looks like they're going infield in.
Yeah, they were conceding the run for the previous hitter. Now Bryson Clark, lefty on lefty, swings and misses at a curveball. 12-6 curveball.
And Bob, if Guzzi didn't get the MVP award this year, likely would have gone to Caden Schmidt, so a good job after a leadoff triple coming back and getting the reigning PCL MVP in this year's Offensive Player of the Year.
That one caught the inside corner. It's a pitcher's pitch from Brady Guzzi. Now it's 0-2. 3 infielders on the grass. The second baseman, Colin Laverty, about halfway. He can come home on a hard hit ground ball. That's about it. Buried the slider, a ball and 2 strikes. And an early big moment here, without question. Got a lot of baseball to go, but knowing how difficult it is to get Brady Guzzi, you have a chance here. You can't give that one up. Thought he dotted the outside corner. He did too.
Clark's off to Bucknell next year, Bob, batting .241 this year.
And the home plate umpire already has something to say to the Conwell-Egan dugout. It is tight quarters here, a little bit of friendly confines action. So he's hearing what they have to say, and they thought he had rung up Clark. Here's the 2-2. Left that one low. That's a great eye that time by Clark, and he's run it full.
Yeah, that's an impressive take after a fastball away. I mean, you get something in that same tunnel, it looks pretty good to go at, and that's a great pitch, great take.
Big pitch, 3-2, 1 out, runner on third. Here comes Guzzi. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He blew the 90-mile-an-hour fastball by him that time and gets an enormous second out.
And Luke Borgman, a big spot here for the UMass Lowell man. Power hitter, batting .344 on the year, 21 hits, 18 RBIs, 5 doubles, and 2 triples.
Left that one above the hands. 1 ball, no strikes. Lifted to right field. This is playable for free tag as he glides over towards the line, makes the play with one hand, and an early jam that Brady Guzzi gets out of. Will we be looking back at that one as the game goes along, thinking what could have been for LaSalle?
Those are certainly the ones you want. Get a guy in scoring position off a good arm like him.
Through 1 complete. It's Conwell-Egan 1, LaSalle nothing. We'll be right back.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches.
He's gone!
The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers.
Sports fans, welcome to
Welcome back here, folks. Top of the second. 1-0 Conwell-Egan in the Philadelphia Catholic League baseball championship game. Tommy Kalita was left at the dish when Connor Lando got picked off at first base to end, beg your pardon, the top of the first. And now Borgman has a little bit of a helmet issue there. Borgman has not made an error, Jack, all season long behind the dish. Very impressive from him.
Yeah, and Bob, you said earlier about how Coach Werman talks about how Borgman's starting to throw more runners out because his pitchers are getting the ball to him faster, but reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and not a lot of people want to run on that type of caliber catcher. It looked like the issues he was having was with his pitch comm in his ear. That's something that they started
that
this
down
year.
here too.
Unbelievable, isn't it, Jimmy? Could you imagine back in 2012 pitch comm when you were playing?
Man.
I know it was just your freshman year, but man.
I will say it definitely helps the pace of the game, which is nice.
Yep. Two balls and a strike. Grounded towards third base, and that was foul. That last hop took it foul. Well adjudicated by that third base umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Get one more look at this one here. Caden Cortez on the charge there for LaSalle.
It's a lot nicer when you have 4 umpires rather than the 2 umpires and sometimes 1 for the first few innings in regular season games.
Wait. What does that mean? 1 for the first few innings. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes some umpires don't show up until
hanging out in the parking lot
second inning.
Interesting.
But yeah, if you have a base ump in the middle of the field, that's a tough angle to see. They'll just guess sometimes.
Here's the 3-2, and that one hit him. So Tommy Kalita gets on base, the leadoff hitter on the inning. Jake McLean, the senior, playing first base. He'll be the 3rd pitcher, if needed, today for Conwell-Egan. 2nd year with the program, a transfer from Hatboro Horsham. You remember Hatboro Horsham, don't you, Jimmy? Your freshman year, state semifinal?
Yep, we had a playoff game.
That was quite a game. I mean, amidst that run, there were a few really, really good games, but that one was maybe the most nerve-wracking.
A lot of emotional swings in that playoff run.
Central
Being
Dolphin.
a freshman, I don't think I knew what was going on half the time.
That's a big lead there for the catcher. Well, it's not the catcher. It's a pinch runner, and that's Dalton Johnson, who's now on the run to third base. He goes first to third, running really, really well. Remember, at the high school level, you can courtesy run for the catcher anytime you want. So Johnson puts the speed on. A nice piece of hitting there by Jake McLean, and it's first and third with nobody out in the top of the 2nd.
That courtesy runner, Bob, you see it a lot with LaSalle. They usually use Caleb Ward for Borgman, or they just brought up some sophomores from the JV team after their season ended, Nick Saber and Colin Target. Those 3 have been pinch running in the courtesy runner spot pretty much all year.
An early visit to the mound for Kyle Werman, head coach of LaSalle for, about a decade now probably, Jimmy, right? Your senior year was his first year.
Yep, 2015 would have been his first season, if I remember correctly.
He was a walk-on at the University of Virginia, ended up being a 4-year starter at second base. He was an all-ACC tournament first-teamer. He was an all-region in the College Baseball World Series regional all-Corvallis region. Now, here's a little bit of college trivia for you guys. When I say Corvallis, what university am I talking about? Really good baseball school.
Oregon State.
Oregon
right?
State,
Beavers?
That's right, indeed.
I ran into the wrong end of them in 2017. They had an unbelievable team. I think they lost less than 10 games.
Wow.
5-6 big leaguers on that team.
Wow, holy smokes.
They run an impressive program out there.
Talk about Coach Werman, Bob. According to Max Prep's 181-56 record. Very impressive.
Sure is. He's been doing it for a long time. Loves it here. Had a coaching stint at the college level for a while as well, and really has settled into his home here at LaSalle. By the way, of whence you speak there, Jimmy, the college games you were playing, of course, Duke University had an unbelievable career you did for the Blue Devils, which led to a long minor league career as well. Try to pick off the runner at first. This is C.J. Cuevas, Holy Ghost transfer, the number 2 pitcher for Conwell-Egan. He'll either go today in relief or who knows, it will be a long rest for him. The next game that Conwell-Egan will play, win or lose, would be a first-round state playoff game on June the 1st.
Cuevas got the start against LaSalle in the first meeting between these two teams. He's batting .333 on the year, 5 hits and 2 RBIs.
Weiss missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The reason they're not playing a game this week is because the Public League did not send any 4A teams to the district tournament for qualification to the state tournament. So by virtue of Conwell-Egan finishing ahead of Archbishop Wood in Catholic League standings, they are the 1 seed coming out of District 12 in the 4A, and Archbishop Wood is the 2 seed. And I don't think many 4A teams want to see this club. I mean, this is the recipe. A lot can happen, Jimmy, as you mentioned, the ups and downs of a state championship run as they continue to throw over to first base. But having 2 stud pitchers that can manage pitch counts, go the full 7 innings in the required 105 pitch threshold, that's all you need to get through 3 to 4 weeks, 2 games per week.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you lean on in your playoff run is your pitching, your defense, and then you just trust that the hitting will be there.
I think back to your freshman year, the LaSalle team that won the state championship, right? Kevin Long, Dom Cucci, it was 1-1A, and two guys that just every time they took the hill, everyone trusted that they were not only going to get you a win, but take you all 7 innings as well. 3 balls and a strike. Big hit pitch here, Jimmy. This is one where you cannot give in. You can't just lay one over there and find a barrel here. The 3-1 pitch is popped up and out of play. That'll go up and over the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes, another huge pitch. LaSalle is going to have their third baseman.
Yeah, challenged him with a fastball there. A good swing.
Cortez, even with the runner, they'll take the double play up the middle if they can get it. Here's the 3-2, and they're going to, again, pitch over to first or make his move. Weiss has already gotten 1 runner. Leaning towards second, picked off Connor Landau to end the first inning. Again, fouled away this time right into the screen. Good at bat here this time by C.J. Cuevas. If you trusted here, a changeup could go a long way, Jimmy. It looks to me like Cuevas is diving a little bit, lunging towards the ball.
Yeah, 2 aggressive swings. In a first and third situation, a ground ball would probably be ideal for Cooper.
And that's fouled away another time. Cooper Weiss went high in the zone. Might have been ball 4, but we'll do it again. Runners on first and third. Full count. Nobody out. C.J. Cuevas digs in and pops it up. This could stay in the yard. Clark over towards the screen, and he had his hands on it. He was diving over the railing. Took a little bit of contact from that railing, and the ball just squeaked out of his glove.
A great effort from Clark. It's tough working the rails near the dugout. And also you deal with a foul ball to the opposite side there. It really hooks back. Lots of times off the bat, those look like they're going to be a couple rows into the stands, and it'll come right back at you.
Sound like you're talking from experience.
Baseball is a game of small things, but they got the big strikeout. How about Cooper Weiss? After 4 straight foul balls on 3 balls and 2 strikes, gets an enormous first out.
It's a great pitch. It looks like he really committed there to keeping that fastball up. Probably thought he could, worst case, get that pop up. Got the swing and miss. His fastball plays well up there.
Now you have to find a way to handle the bottom of the order. Garofalo shows bunt. I don't see it. First off, showing it that early, but second of all, runner on third, 1 out, your 8-hole hitter up. I don't think you're just planning to move a guy up 1 base.
Safety squeeze, or I mean, there's a lot of options first and third offense. You can do different things here. I think you have to be careful considering Weiss has a good move. You don't want to risk going first move, getting picked off, and then, but there's a lot of things you can do here. You can do a safety, you can do a delay steal, a straight steal.
Garofalo only has 3 hits on the year, batting .115.
And they're going to run, and they'll take the base. Luke Borgman puts the ball in his pocket. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think you're okay with that if you're LaSalle. 115 hitter, like you said, Jack.
Takes away a double play opportunity, but I think if you're Weiss, you're looking for a punch out here. Looks like the corners are up.
Yeah, they will concede the run up the middle. Swung on and missed. The ball and 2 strikes. What's your out pitch, Jimmy? This is where you need it. You need a punch out.
If you're a pitcher, you gotta just throw your best. You gotta throw your best. which I think has been fastball up. You know, lots of times we think he's going to go change, and he sticks with it, so we'll see.
A ball and 2 strikes. Second and third were the runners. That is hit into center field. That might do the job. Fires it with all he's got.
Wow.
It's going to be close, and he is safe. Safe at the plate. It's a really good throw from center field by Caden Schmidt. We'll get a good look here at the dish. Borgman with the tag. He's in there. That's a great call by that umpire. Got himself in a great spot.
A good throw and a really good slide there by Johnson. Going head first and staying towards the outside of the plate.
And that's a sophomore who didn't get himself on base. He was put there for a reason.
Yeah, I had some experience with that my freshman year. I was a part-time starter, and the other times I would pinch run for the catcher. And it can be tough coming into a game like that. You're in the dugout for the first, inning, 2 innings, and then before you know it, you're standing on second base. You got to make the right read. You got to make the right decision. So, credit to him.
And look at Laverty, number 20 there, as we slowed that all the way down. That's popped into left field. That's tailing away from O'Connor. Finds his way under it and makes the play to end the inning and get out of the threat. Conwell-Egan scores a second run on a close play at the plate. And now LaSalle's going to have to find a way to score 2 to even things up against Brady Guzzi. We'll find out if they can on the other side.
Before the game or after the game, you don't have to travel far anymore. Come out to Gentili's Pizza in Exton for the best cheesesteaks and pizza you'll ever eat in your life, and I guarantee it. Let me take you inside and show you what we're all about. I mean, come on, look at that cheesesteak. Sliced ribeye, sauteed fried onions on a beautiful Karanji seeded roll. Cooper sharp cheese. That, my friends, is a slam dunk. So come to Gentili's for your best cheesesteak that you ever had in your life. That's gonna be our Charlie. This is our #1 seller. Got Pecorino Romano. And we top it off with a little hot honey. Gentili's Pizza, Exton, PA. Can't wait to see you after the game.
Ronnie Raby up at the dish for LaSalle. 2-0 in the bottom of the second. Conwell-Egan got a run in each frame. Guzzi, and that's hammered into center field. That's going to get down. On 3 hops to the wall, Ronnie Raby glides into second base. And Brady Guzzi, hittable early on. A triple leads off the first, and a pounded double to the deepest part of the yard here to start the second.
The LaSalle approach looks pretty clear. That's 2 innings in a row. They're being aggressive on first pitch fastball, which a guy like Guzzi with the high velo, the good stuff, you don't want to fall behind. So that's a really great swing by Raby.
Raby's been one of the leaders all year. 386 batting average. That was his 3rd double. He's hit 2 home runs and 3 triples, 13 RBIs, 22 hits, now 23.
We talked about it a little bit in the break, but Jimmy, I didn't love the pitch selection to the 8th hitter there. Taking something off. It wasn't a bad pitch by any stretch by Weiss, but as that one's hit into center field as well, chasing Lando back a few steps. Will they tag for third? They are going to go. They're going to take the shot with 1 out, and he gets there. So now a chance for a sac fly to score Ronnie Raby. But back to that point there, Jimmy. So, you have the 8 hitter there for Conwell-Egan, Chase Garofolo struggling to get to the heater. Sometimes bringing that slider in and taking speed off of it almost runs you into the barrel there. And he got the sac fly
yeah, it's
as
tough.
a result.
You can stay with that fastball up and try to get a swing and miss. I'm assuming, you're trying to bounce a breaking ball there and get the chase, and you leave it in the zone, and it gives a guy an opportunity to kind of catch up and get that elevated into the outfield.
Here's Michael O'Connor, got called up for the playoffs last year. Didn't have a role on the team last year. This year, third-team All-Catholic, has a big impact. He's batting .316 on the year, 12 hits, 15 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 1 triple. He told me after the game that his triple against Cardinal O'Hara was his highlight of the season.
Going to need to find a way to get a run in here. They're giving the run up the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Guzzi blew a high 80s fastball by him. So LaSalle has had a runner on third with less than 2 outs now in both of the first 2 frames. Came up short, could not score him in the first. Now a 1-2 pitch with 1 out. And that's lined to shortstop. It's going to keep the runner right there. 2 outs in the inning. Hit relatively hard there by O'Connor.
Looked like a changeup from Guzzi. Left it up a little bit. Good swing, little off the end. Ran out of bat. That's good stuff when you're ready for 92. That changeup, even if it's not located well, it's not an easy pitch to put in play.
2 outs. Runner on third, Alex Hissom. He buried a sinker into the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
Coming into the year, Hissom was a primary pitcher, and boy, has he turned into a primary hitter. .302 batting average, 13 hits, 14 RBIs. Can still pitch, though. Very good at it.
Early on, Jack, they were just looking for answers, LaSalle was, in the outfield, right? Somebody to go into the corner and make a semi-routine play, and then the bat followed, and they couldn't take him out of the lineup, to your point. That one off the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
To your point, Bob, they started the season with 2 senior outfielders that are going off to college. John Trev's going to Worcester Polytech and Gavin McPeak going to Penn State Abington. And if you have those college guys, you're obviously going to try with them. But then Alex Hissom.
Did he go? Yes, he did. And that's strike 3. And Brady Guzzi gets out of the frame. Jack?
I was just going to say, and Alex Hissom earned his spot as a junior.
And did just go on the swing. Brady Guzzi again gets out of a jam. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Finds a way through it. Through 2 complete. It's Conwell-Egan 2. LaSalle nothing. Stay with us. Back to the top of the lineup for Conwell-Egan as Keegan Johnson steps into the plate.
Popped out a second in his first at bat.
A 58-foot end over end 12-6 curveball, ball 1. Dots the outside corner, or so he thought, called just a hair low. 2 balls, no strikes. Cooper Weiss falls behind the leadoff hitter on the inning. And that one missed high and inside. 3 balls, no strikes. It's a 2-0 game. Kyle Werman looking off to his right. You wonder if there's anybody in the pen. Likely not, though, because what we've seen all year is Alex Hissam from right field will come in without any warm-up whatsoever. But you would have to think, Jimmy, in this situation, Philadelphia Catholic League final, you'd have a short hook here. That's hit into center field, and that's going to be playable for Caden Schmidt. Nice job to bear down in that at-bat and get a 3-1 flyout. 1 out here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it's a great job. I think that's both at-bats to him there. He fell behind 2-0 and 3-0 to just trust your stuff, get back in there. It's better to get hit, give your defense a chance, than to walk guys, and I know that's Weiss is always trying to fill it up with strikes.
That one finds the outside corner. Weiss starting to feel it there. That one had the most zip of any fastball I've seen. Danny Freitag has some power, second-year starter. Probably will play at the next level, at a D2 or D3 level. Jeff Manto calls him the most unpredictable hitter, in a good way. Never know what he's going to do, and he could run one out of the yard. That one's hammered to right field, but LaSalle played very well all the way back. Alex Hissam makes the play, sliding to his left.
And, Bob, that's why he doesn't warm up before he comes into pitch. He's such a good outfielder that they need him in there every time he's available.
So 1 out in the frame. Beg your pardon, 2 outs now in the frame with that fly out. Brady Guzzi. Lefty on lefty matchup. Hammered towards right field on 1 hop past the first baseman, Bryson Clark. He'll be held to a single. Guzzi got a high one and did not miss.
That's a great swing going after an 0-0 breaking ball, elevated. A lot of guys will just shut down on that and take the strike, which is what the pitcher's looking for. Sometimes it's a free strike, but credit to Guzzi for staying aggressive there.
As a pitcher himself, he probably knows that 0-0 count you're going to get.
That show me breaking ball, yeah. Guzzi has plus speed over there at first base. I do wonder, though, if there's some, it would be a great time to steal a runner right here, Jimmy, with your 4-hitter.
Yeah,
at the
2
dish.
outs, I think it's worth a shot. You have a lead. You could probably press it and be a little bit aggressive, but Weiss is good with the running game. He's good at holding runners, has a good move, which we saw earlier with the pickoff.
And is there anything to, hey, maybe if Guzzi's playing in the field that day, that's fine, you run him, but on the dish, do you keep him in the stable a little bit more?
I guess as a coach you could tell him that, but I think as a player that might go in one ear out the other. If you're, he's a competitor, so.
He only has 1 stolen base on the year.
Here's the 2-0. That one dots the inside corner with a fastball, 2 balls and a strike. I did notice, by the way, on the Guzzi at bat, and again, don't do a ton of high school games, but it doesn't appear that there's any rule where 2 infielders have to be on each side of second base. They had him shifted all the way to the right with 3 defenders.
So he was on the other side of second.
He was.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's the old power hitter shift rule. You see the whole team out on one side of the field.
Here's the 3-1, and that's left above the hands, and I think he got a bit of a gift on that strike call. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Connor Lando. Lando got on base his first time up and got picked off at first to end the inning. Here's the 3-2. just missed.
Well-located pitch, just off. That's a good take by Lando.
I think it's hard to get that call twice.
Yeah, if you're around the zone, lots of times you'll get your occasional help from the guy behind the plate, but that one was just a little too far off.
Here's Tommy Kalida. Has Guzzi in scoring position. Has a chance to increase this 2-0 lead. Pops it up. This will stay in play. A much easier play for Clark this time, who squeezes it with two hands. And Cooper Weiss gets out of the inning. Left two men on. And LaSalle coming back up to the dish for their third licks at the plate. Looking to put some runs on the board against the best player in the Philadelphia Catholic League, per those that voted on it, the MVP, Brady Guzzi.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
Bottom three as we see the third trip to the mound for Brady Guzzi. Left-handed pitcher, MVP of the Philadelphia Catholic League, as we mentioned, and one of those guys that is going to play high-level baseball, whether that's at the University of Virginia or if by this time next year there are some big league clubs that are about to make it worth his while to go straight to the draft. And let's bring you quickly inside the broadcast booth because, Jimmy, I want your thoughts on this here as well. Has the game and has the NIL changed things where, hey, maybe in the past I would have taken that guarantee in the first 10 rounds of the draft, but you know what? I'm going to get a good enough deal to go play at Virginia, have some fun, maybe improve the draft stock for a couple years down the line.
Yeah, I would absolutely imagine it's something to consider. There's so much freedom now in the college game. And Virginia's a great place to develop, so if he has the opportunity to go to school there for free, probably even make some extra money, and still get a chance to hear his name called in the draft a few years later.
It's great to see Matt Wombold here do up. He's had a rough go this season with injuries. Good to see him getting a start in the PCO championship game. Going to Bucknell next year. Won't be playing, but going to be a student there.
Well, he got his licks in on that at bat. He does not get cheated up there.
Good aggressive swing. Really showed some bat speed there. Some physical kids on this field, I must say.
Here's the 1-2.
With the way talking about how the game has advanced, a lot of kids, high school and even below, are they're training smarter, they're training better, and you see it on the field, with great speed, aggressive swings, legit velocity on the mounds. These kids they're really good players.
We'll do it again on a ball and 2 strikes count. That's going to hurt. Without an ankle guard on his left ankle. But Wombold staying with the pitch as well.
Those lefty breaking balls bearing in on you. That's the pitch you'll do that on.
And I was talking about it earlier, but Wombold's really earned this start. He's only played in 11 games, but he's got that .308 batting average with 8 hits, 5 RBIs, and 2 doubles. Had a big impact against Father Judge in an 11-8 win.
Here's another 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. Strikeout to start the third. Pretty good at bat that time by Wombold, but that's one of those burying, devastating breaking balls.
Yeah, good battle there, but that's a plus breaking ball. You know, he has the ability to throw that one in the zone early, and then you play that 2-strike 1 off it. It's a tough pitch to lay off for sure.
Grounded towards third on a couple of hops. It's booted. And on at first, on an error, is the leadoff hitter for LaSalle, Caden Cortez. They'll take it any way they can get it against Brady Guzzi. It is interesting, Jimmy, how he attacks the hitters, and it's fun to watch, quite frankly. What the head coach, Jeff Manto, talked to us about is, said, listen, Bob, I didn't do anything to put the mile an hour on his fastball or the devastation on his breaking ball, but I did teach him. One thing I'll take credit for is how to attack hitters, right, from his role as being a hitting coach.
Mm-hmm. And
at
a guy
the next level.
with that much playing experience, he knows how important that is.
That's
the velocity and the stuff, that comes with time. It comes with reps. But the one thing, you know, you can really hone in on is how you approach the game and how you approach hitters.
And he felt that what has made those sliders more devastating is his ability to actually go glove side with the fastball. He said, listen, I'm just one guy, but that's what gave me and a lot of my players that I was coaching at the big league level the most fits, right? If you can just kind of hang on the outside corner, that's one thing. But when you can move both sides, go glove side with that fastball, it makes it really challenging for righties. And that is thrown away. Cortez is going to get to at least second base. Takes an aggressive turn, and now we'll come back to second base.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive lead by Cortez. He was almost out to the cut of the turf there. And, you know, the thought is sometimes you can do that and you can be one way where you know you're going back so you can be more aggressive. And Guzzi gave him kind of an easy move over there, maybe just to keep him close, but not really trying to, per se, throw him out. But you get the ball moving around, a little error there, and LaSalle's able to advance a base.
Big spot for Caden Schmidt here. It's been incredible so far this year. 508 batting average.
And that's off his ankle. He does have a little ankle guard there.
But yeah, talking about that approach as a left-handed pitcher, if you can establish that inside corner with the fastball, it really just opens up everything because you can throw that change-up away, which looks like it's 100 feet outside, and then you can come back foot with that hard slider, which starts, it looks like a fastball inside, and that's the pitch you hit off your foot.
A big 0-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play.
To go along with that 508 batting average, Schmidt has scored 30 runs, 30 hits, and 25 RBIs on the year. He had a home run against Newman Goretti, a 3-run shot, 5 total in the season, 8 doubles and 2 triples.
LaSalle with a runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs for the third straight inning. And that will not get the runner over, at least at first blush. But that pulls the first baseman off the bag. Tough inning thus far for Gavin Hartley over at third. Jake McLean did everything he could there, Jimmy, to try to hang on that base.
Yeah, and credit to Schmidt. That's a really good 90. You know, off the bat, that looks like a routine ground ball. You might pull up halfway, but running a good 90, it puts pressure on the defense and causes plays like that.
And 3 errors in 1 inning doesn't really help out your pitcher that went 90-plus on Monday and is now on 3 days rest. You need him to go the distance.
Yeah, that's a great point. You got to keep an eye on that pitch count. And LaSalle's putting together good at-bats, making them throw pitches, fouling off pitches. And
he was the best hitter on this team, says Kyle Werman last year, in a year where Caden Schmidt won the MVP. So that's quite the middle of the lineup here. He was trying to time Guzzi over at second base, and now he'll bunt. That's going to be a tough play, and they're going to let it go foul. Little cue ball on the turf here.
Grabs that turf. Sometimes they don't always stay as true as you think on the Astro turf, which I think is new. I think this field used to be grass.
I think that's right, too, although I must say I've mostly only seen it from the highway.
I haven't been down here either, but I definitely take a good long look at it when I'm driving on 76 because it is a beautiful little little park down here.
Unbelievable place to host a championship.
Tommy Lasorda Field.
That's right.
Opened in 1999.
Where's the Philly fanatic when you need him? Ball and a strike to Clark.
Clark's got 13 hits and 17 RBIs on the year. He's 3 RBIs away from 40 career RBIs and 1 hit away from 40 career hits. So, like you said, Bob, one of the best hitters, if not the best last year. Doing it again this year.
The 2-1. Unbelievable pitch. I mean, at the knees on the inside corner. That's one as a hitter. Jimmy, I think you
that's
watch
a great
go
pitch.
by and say, let me get the next one.
Especially after a breaking ball that he left a little bit arm side. You come back in there with a fastball, you know the hitter will probably shut down on it.
Tapped, and the ball will cue itself foul.
And then goes back to that kind of bury me breaking ball. That I mean, you could see the sharpness from up here. That's a impressive pitch to get a piece of to stay alive.
Third one that hits the ankle.
That one get his ankle?
Yeah, he had to readjust his guard.
Wow.
That's why you wear him, though. Although Womble didn't.
I swear, though, most of the time you wear one of those, it usually misses it.
Finds a spot where it's
just
not
above,
covering.
just below.
Here's the 2-2 from Guzzi. In there, called strike 3. And Borgman knew it. Terrific pitch that finds the zone on a breaking ball from Guzzi.
Here's Luke Borgman, flew out to right. Last at bat in the first inning.
Yep, sorry. Bryson Clark went down looking. Here is Luke Borgman, the UMass Lowell commit. Another big spot here for LaSalle. They've had no shortage of opportunities. They have pushed the pitch count for Brady Guzzi, but they trail by 2. Tying run on first base. That one finds the zone. Get me over curveball.
Yeah, Guzzi's shown really good feel for the breaking ball in this inning. He's throwing it for both chase and strike.
All that to say, wish that was my get me over curveball.
Yeah, right.
That's a nice one to have in your pocket. That one's hit into the hole, and they're going to send the runner. Coming up firing and cut off. LaSalle has their first run of the contest. The speedy Cortez scores on the single from Luke Borgman.
Went to the changeup there. It stayed up just enough. Borgman, good job staying to the zone and was able to get it out to left field.
And like I said earlier, Jack Malley comes on, courtesy runner for Borgman. But you look up on the scoreboard there, after Conwell-Egan gets 1 run apiece in the first and second, they get none in the third, and a good time for LaSalle to get their first run.
Yeah, you can feel the momentum shifting a little. If LaSalle could cash in another one, it could swing things.
Raby takes the slider low for ball 1. 386 average on the year. 2-year starter, 3rd year with the varsity club. What an opportunity for him here. Runner's going to go. And man, you know, I get it, right? You're down, or you're a ball and no strikes. You see a pitch, you hit it. But there was no chance that those 2 runners were going to be thrown out. Both had a great jump.
Caden Schmidt is so fast. We've seen him steal bases all year. 19 stolen bases this year.
Are you okay with the swing there, Jimmy?
Oh,
and
go
they
back.
got him. Maybe had a chance to get back. He gets out of the frame via pickoff. Second pickoff we've seen here this afternoon.
Yeah, a little greedy there. You know, he had such a good jump on the pitch before the foul ball. I think with 2 outs off a good arm, if you want to swing it, it's okay. I usually, as a hitter, will let the guy go, especially when you see a guy in your batter's eye. Lots of times you kind of shut down. At least for me, I would kind of shut down when I saw a lot of movement out there. But then on that pickoff, that's a play where lots of times you might not be as far off the bag as you think, And lots of times if it's not a planned pick play, the middle infield will still be far enough back that you can get back even if you're way off. And that was a play there where it looked like if he just hauled it back, he probably could have beat him. But I'm assuming, you feel like you're way out there and you're caught. So it's a tough play.
Yeah, a tough way to end that inning because maybe you feel differently on a 1-1 count, runners on second and third. Raby didn't even see the next pitch after that foul ball. But he'll lead off the inning there, and we bring you back, as we mentioned, inside the broadcast booth here. Jimmy Herron, Jack McGuire with us here. And, Jack, what have you seen through the first 3 innings of play?
I've seen a little bit of a fight from LaSalle in that 3rd inning, but it's hard to get anything off of Brady Guzzi. He's just so good on the mound. Explorers, like I said pregame to you, Bob, around the 4th and 5th inning, I think once they get used to him, will do a good job. So just got to wait and see. Cooper Weiss, kind of the opposite, gets out to a little rough start, and then as he goes on, it gets harder for the offense to get some things going.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you, these guys are really good pitchers, both of them. I think both offenses have had as much success as you could reasonably expect.
Yeah.
Lots of runners on base.
The at-bats have been great. They've been long, lots of foul balls. LaSalle put some good swings on Guzzi early, and then he really settled in to kind of limit damage in those innings. And the same thing with Egan, to Weiss. He's been filling it up, but at-bats are good, and, it's been a evenly well-played game so far.
I tell you, that curveball looked really good to me. It's called for ball 1. Here's the 1-0, and that's fouled back towards us. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quickest guy on that ball was head coach Kyle Werman, by the way.
He doesn't mess around with losing foul balls, Bob. He had to bring.
You were on that duty before?
No, he had to bring the 3 boxes of game balls to the game today. He's telling me on the bus, not cheap for 3 dozen game balls.
Baseballs are.
It's a little surprising that the team that's coming here, even though they're the home team, has to provide them for a game like this.
Well, take that up with B.J. Hogan.
Yeah. Who can we talk to about that?
I'll let you handle that one, Jack. Thanks to B.J., by the way, and Pat Devaney, also ADs at Lansdale Catholic and Bonner Prendergast, respectively, for helping us out to put this game on here today. The 1-2 pitch was just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake McLean, the 6-hitter, stands in and awaits the delivery from Weiss. Full count. Outfield shaded slightly towards the right field line with the center fielder Caden Schmidt. About 7 paces or so right of center. Here's the 3-2, and that's hit right at Weiss. He had it, brilliantly played. 1 out in the inning.
Man, who's making those fielding charts for LaSalle? That's funny you point that out, and then sure enough, because he was pretty far into that right center gap. But you could tell, a good approach against the left-hander as a righty is to really work that right center gap, and Egan's been doing that well for most of this game. And that's a good adjustment.
Cuevas serves that one into left field, having that come off the end of the bat. Certainly had that die well before O'Connor in left field, and he's on with a 1-out single. So, Jimmy, as a hitter yourself, you made the good point about the fielding positional adjustments. That approach that you mentioned, right, going with the pitch against a lefty, do you ever at the dish see another team, shading you one way and say, oh, man, if I hit this right, that's exactly where I'm going to hit it? Does that ever change your approach?
I think you notice it, but you don't want to get out of your approach. As a defense, you could almost be like, yeah, we'll dare you, please try to pull this left-handed pitcher. It's usually not the best idea.
Left it above the hands, a ball and 1 strike with 1 out and a man on first.
But I think that's just something that happens, You could try to hit it at someone and hit it nowhere near them or vice versa, so. Weiss
brings it home and swung on and missed. Chase Garofolo. Jammed him on the inside there. Garofalo, the left fielder, a tough Philly kid. We're told he fears no one. A glue guy.
Brought in that second run in the second with his sacrifice fly.
Good idea that time from Weiss. Kind of buried that fastball in the dirt. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on first.
Yeah, you say Garofalo not scared of anyone. He's right up there on the dish. He's got that elbow hanging over, good box presence.
Thought about it, just missed on the outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The question is, C.J. Cuevas has some speed at first base. Do you send him against the lefty, 3-2 with 1 out?
You can. You got to be careful with the first move.
Stays
Weiss
put.
is quick to the plate. There's always a chance of pickoff, so
Cuevas
definitely understand being careful there.
Doesn't have any stolen bases on the year. And with 1 out in a championship game, you don't want to get thrown out.
Well, you don't want to strike out, throw him out, and then start with the 9-hitter to begin the next inning, and they're going to get that. But can they get it out of the glove in time? He is safe. The ball came loose.
Really good recovery on a tough pickoff throw. A bang play, but
once you're beat,
couple
just
too many short hops there to make that play.
Yeah, the ball just got stuck in Bryson Clark's glove.
Did a good job picking it. That's a tough throw there.
So now another runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. The 8-hole hitter Garofalo, and got a late time call.
And as a base runner there, you get picked off. The one thing you can do is just you try to get in the way of the throw.
Yeah, so he probably saw or at least felt that
and
throw
with Clark
took
already
Clark.
a little offline, it's not an easy throw to make.
It took him right into the baseline, didn't it? 3-2 pitch with 1 out. In there, called strike 3. Garofalo goes down looking. Big time pitch from Cooper Weiss, maybe his best of the day.
Great pitch there. Goes with the 3-2 breaking ball. He's able to freeze Garofalo. That's an impressive pitch with a runner in scoring position.
And watching this team all year, Cooper Weiss does not like it when there's a late time called and he has to throw it anyway and waste a pitch. So comes back with a strikeout.
I know that'll fire up a pitcher.
It happens the most to him. It's at least his 3rd one this season.
Might there be a reason for that? Although, I tell you, he seems anything but deliberate. He seems to move quick. But maybe when the runner gets on the base, maybe he does slow it down a hair.
It's the first-team All-Catholic pitcher. Gets fired up.
Here's the 1-0. That's a really good pitch. Started it at the right shoulder of the 9-hole hitter Colin Laverty and finds the inside corner for strike 1. And another pitch comm issue for the catcher for LaSalle, Luke Borgman.
Some teams LaSalle's played this year has an actual pitch comm where Borgman will tap his arm and it'll go to Weiss's ear, but Borgman just gets the call in his ear and gives a sign to Weiss.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled away. Explain that one more time.
Okay,
Jimmy.
so the catcher's still giving finger signs to the pitcher.
So yeah, he's just not calling the pitches himself.
Oh, okay.
So Coach JR, the pitching coach, talks into a walkie-talkie. Borgman hears it, throws up a sign. Other teams LaSalle's played, the catcher will get a sign, tap their wrist on an electronic thing, and the pitcher will see. That's not the case with LaSalle.
Understood. Thank you for that. Here's the 1-2 pitch as he awaits with 2 outs in the inning. Right up the middle, going to be a tough play for Keegan Wade. What a play by Keegan Wade. And he loves it, too, on the way off the field. Big out there in the 4th. Another runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
That's an impressive play by Wade. That's a big league type play, ranging like that up the middle. Also having the wherewithal to really charge it because a slower hit ground ball like that with a decent runner, that's a tough play to finish. Made a great strong throw. That's really good stuff there.
So we head to the bottom of the fourth. We'll keep it here, and we'll bring you inside the broadcast booth. Bob Long, Jimmy Herron, and Jack McGuire alongside. So, Jimmy, you've seen a high-level pitcher, the type of guy you would have seen in the ACC type of thing, as where he's projected to go right now. As he continues to go on, he's got 9 outs thus far. It hasn't all been easy. How does LaSalle continue to attack when he gets more and more comfortable out there?
I think they need to continue to be aggressive, which is what they've done when they have had success. They've gotten guys on, 2 extra base hits off first pitch fastballs, which is clearly their approach coming in. Try to get on that early. An arm like this, you don't want to fall behind and see the legit breaking ball, the good changeup. So I think they'll stick with that, But for him, he's got the stuff where I'm sure he's gonna keep attacking, keep trying to throw strikes, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds here.
Ronnie Raby gets another chance because of Caden Schmitz out on the base pass to end the last inning. Raby got the second inning started with a double.
Outfield straight away. Tapped foul.
And he goes first pitch change up there after that. His double early, he jumped all over a fastball. So a smart pitch there, but also good approach. I think it's worth staying on that, see if you can't get another one early in the count.
Left that one above the hands. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, that looked good there on a 1-1 pitch. Just missed somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit in or a little bit down, but that's a really well-located fastball.
Grounded towards the shortstop hole, and it's going to be a single for Ronnie Raby. He's had a good bat all year long. That's a good at-bat that time. One on, nobody out.
Good start for LaSalle. You put a ball in play, good things can happen. That's a really tough play to make it short. I think even if he fields it cleanly, that's a long throw and a good runner down the line. That's not an easy play.
Here's Keegan Wade, who just made that amazing play to end the top of the fourth. He's fired up coming off, going to Stonehill next year, batting .417 coming into this one. Go along with 20 hits, 17 runs scored, 13 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples.
Popped up, and will the wind just funnel this one out of play? It's going to be really close. Oof. What an
good
effort there.
That's that ball. It looks like it's in the trees. It kind of just hangs on, and it comes right back into play.
Gavin Hartley climbing the mountain there trying to make the play, but quite honestly, if he was just a couple steps back, he might have been able to stand there and make the play. Like you said, Jimmy, the wind, I think, put a trick on that one.
If you're Coach Roman, you're happy he didn't make the catch there, but you're also happy he doesn't go into the trees because you get to keep that game ball.
He must have done a number on you, Jack, in terms of the cost of those balls. Runner goes on first move. No chance. Raby in there with a stolen base at second. It was a strike, so no balls, 2 strikes to Keegan Wade. Now his job here, Jimmy, is to find a way to put one on the ground to the right side, if nothing else. Move that runner up to third.
It's a tough spot. You're behind 0-2, but a guy on second, no outs. Can try to sell out for something.
And he did just that. That's going to be a hit down the right field line. Wade is going to take a big turn and head towards second. Close play. He's safe. The runner scores. And it is tied up at 2. Keegan Wade, biggest hit of the afternoon.
Really big swing there. And you get rewarded when you have a good approach. He sees that guy on second. He's not trying to do too much. He's just trying to get him to third. Gets a breaking ball elevated and is able to put a really good swing on it, hit a line drive. And that carries over. I always thought when I was playing, you make a good play in the field, you get a hit. It's just kind of what happens, and that's a really great swing and taking advantage of an elevated breaking ball there.
And the pattern continues, Bob. I was talking about earlier. You look up on the scoreboard, it goes 1-1, 0-0, and 0-0, 1-1. So LaSalle doing a great job in the third and fourth inning, coming back.
So this is interesting. It looks like Jeff Manto has, I think it's the trainer out there.
Looks like a trainer. Is it a glove issue maybe?
It could be. Or is there some other issue? Is that a manager or something that's keeping some sort of tabulation in the dugout? We'll see. Either way, one of the first real mistakes that Brady Guzzi has made, Jimmy, he knows better. That's just a miss on an 0-2 pitch. You can't leave it over the fat part of the zone. It's a heck of a piece of hitting from Keegan Wade. Turned on it well. But that's a miss from Guzzi on an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're going breaking ball 0-2 there, you're definitely trying to get probably a bounce and a chase. Just left it a little elevated. I'm sure he wants that one back, especially with a fastball like his. You could always go up 0-2. You could go elevated up out of the zone, then come back to the breaking ball.
So now all of a sudden, LaSalle, with all the momentum in the world, 7-hole hitter Michael O'Connor. And this is where Kyle Werman told us, listen, there are no breaks in this lineup, 1-9. Anybody can take you deep. First pitch swinging, O'Connor lifts one. McLean having some trouble with it, and calling him off was Laverty. Big time play, because that was right near the fair territory. That could have dropped and been an issue.
Yeah, not an easy play. That Bermuda Triangle there with the first base, second base, and right field kind of all coming in.
Yep, that would have been a fair ball. And this is it. Appears to be it. Second time that Manto has left the dugout. And he is being handed the baseball by Brady Guzzi. The expectation is to see C.J. Cuevas. And so Jake McLean will move from first to third. Brady Guzzi will likely move over to first, and Cuevas will come off the bench from his current designated hitter spot. And we'll pitch. So as we take a moment, we'll have some warm-up pitches. We'll take a break and come right back on the other side. You're watching the Philadelphia Catholic League Baseball Championship on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
We have some changes here in the field as C.J. Cuevas heads to the mound to try to shut down the LaSalle Explorers here in the bottom of the fourth. Man on second, nobody out. Jake McLean flips from first base to third base. Brady Guzzi dispatches the pitcher's glove, puts on the first base mitt, and he will patrol first base. Cuevas, physical, tall, a heavy fastball is what Jeff Manto told us. They're going to need that right now, topping out around 88 miles an hour. And that one's ripped down the third base line. Fair ball. Fair ball, and that will score one. Keegan Wade will glide in. And all the way to second base is Alex Hissam. What a start here in the fourth for LaSalle.
And LaSalle continues to get rewarded jumping on the first pitch fastball. That's a good approach. You got a new arm in. You know he's got good stuff, good fastball. You can expect to see it early, and that's a great swing.
The thing with Guzzi is LaSalle didn't see Guzzi's arm when they first played each other earlier this season. They did see Cuevas's, and Alex Hissam, nothing new. Rips a double down the left field line, puts the Explorers up 3-2.
I tell you, you have to appreciate and you have to be impressed by LaSalle's approach here this afternoon. You know, when the pitchers, when you just look at the straight stuff, let's just call it what it is. Cuevas and Guzzi could have the two best arms or among the two best arms in the entire Catholic League. And at times the bottom of the lineup for LaSalle had taken Brady Guzzi to task, and now Cuevas, and 1-9, just like Kyle Werman told us. They are.
Yeah, it's legit stuff. It's high Division I stuff, and credit to LaSalle for sticking with their approach, and especially after a lefty arm, you kind of see the opposite here with a heavy right-handed sinker coming at you.
And Colin Target now on second, replacing Alex Hissam. And you got to wonder, is Alex Hissam now going to go into pitch, and is this a courtesy runner scenario where Alex Hissam would be the new pitcher and Cooper Weiss's day is done?
I mean, you're talking about a .52 ERA for Guzzi. Nice block that time behind the dish. And here's Cuevas with a 1.36 ERA. 53 1/3 innings for Guzzi coming in. 25 2/3 for Cuevas coming in. 28 strikeouts for Cuevas. 101 strikeouts in those 53 innings for Guzzi. LaSalle's been unbelievable getting after both of these guys now. That's dotted on the outside corner.
Yeah, those numbers speak for themselves. Really impressive.
One out in the inning. Runner on second base. 3-2 LaSalle. 2 runs in this fourth frame thus far. Cuevas' curveball is on the outside corner. Called strike 3. Big time pitch.
Cuevas, a second team All-Catholic selection. Guzzi, first team and the MVP. Other All-Catholics from Conwell-Egan, Keegan Johnson, the third team, and Connor Lindau, first team.
That's a heck of a pitch there.
Yeah, really well located, I think. As a hitter, you kind of have to tip your cap there. That's not a pitch you probably want to go after with 2 strikes. And sometimes the other guy makes a really good pitch.
2 outs in the inning, 1 ball. LaSalle has turned over the lineup. This is Caden Cortez. Led off the game with a triple to right field down the line. It was a good timing play to second base, no doubt about it, but the runner was at a very safe distance. You mentioned the pinch runner, right, Jack?
Yeah, Colin Target on second, and Tommy Kalida kind of signaled to Cuevas to throw over at that time. That's a second-team All-Catholic catcher.
Swung on and missed. Cortez tried to golf that one onto the Schuylkill Expressway. A ball and a strike.
Yeah, well-executed pickoff play. You call that the daylight play. You see that open glove there. It really gives the pitcher green light to let it rip if he wants to, and that was a good throw, but a good job by the runner getting back.
Cortez does have 1 home run on the year. Came in a leadoff home run against O'Hara.
Cuevas does not want to come after Cortez with a fastball. He's buried 3. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield at regular depth for Conwell-Egan, Garofolo, Landau, and Freitag from left to right. They'll be charging any ground ball to the outfield hard. 3 balls, 1 strike. And you would think also that the coaching staff for LaSalle at third base would be very aggressive and looking to send that pinch runner to home.
And I don't think this is a pitch-around situation with Schmidt on deck, so if you're the hitter here, I think you're ready for something good.
And he got something good, ripped it to left field, and they are going to hold up the runner. That's a good decision. Really good throw from left field by Chase Garofolo. First and third with 2 outs after the big hit for Caden Cortez.
That's Coach Higgins, the third base coach.
Yeah, I know Dennis. Good to see Dennis out there coaching third. Is that relatively new? I feel like in years past, Kyle Werman was coaching third. I don't know how recent he got that assignment, and that's probably setting you up for failure. I don't know. Sorry about that.
He was coaching third when I was playing.
Is that right? Okay,
Werman
all right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm way off. Grounded to third. In time to first, Jake McLean. Important there as well. We saw Gavin Hartley misplay a couple of balls over at third. So with Guzzi going to first and McLean coming to third, sure-handed on that ball to third base, gets them out of the inning. 2 men left. They scored 2 in the inning. It's 3-2 LaSalle as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on Bob Long Sports.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
Alex Hissam comes on to pitch in the top of the 5th inning. So 4 complete for Cooper Weiss. Lets up the 2 runs, but did a really good job all day, Jimmy, getting out of jams.
Yeah, did a great job. If you asked him, I don't know if he would say he had his best stuff, but you look up and he got him into the back half of the game, and he did a great job.
And Jack, what can you tell us about the relief pitcher for LaSalle coming from right field, Alex Hissam?
Well, first, I knew something was up when he got courtesy ran for by Target. I thought he was going to come in, and I don't think it's early for him to come in at all. I think coming in the 5th inning is a perfect spot for him. Just look at some of his stats. He's got a 1.83 ERA, 2-0 in 10 appearances. He, on the year, 15 1/3 innings pitched on the mound, 12 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned runs allowed. He's walked 4 and struck out 17. And it doesn't take many strikeouts for Alex Hism to get fired up. You see him get 1 or 2, and he comes off the mound spitting and everything. He's awesome to watch out there. And even if he doesn't get strikeouts, he can utilize his off speed and get you to fly out.
Well, and you know, this is the 3rd time through the lineup, right? And you know Kyle Werman, Jimmy, he's one of those new school guys, which is great, right? Analytics tell you this. When you get to the 3rd time through the lineup, the efficiency numbers go way down. And so with Keegan Johnson leading the way here, Hism is going to give him another look, and it's an 0-2 count just like that. Jimmy, do you like the move at this point?
Yeah, I think it's a smart move. As a hitter, you definitely get more comfortable each at-bat you get. You can kind of see Egan doing the same thing. You know, they start with their top lefty. He gets through the lineup about 2 times, and then you bring in the righty, the reliever. Just a different look.
Caleb Ward now in center. Caden Schmidt moves over to right field. O'Connor stays put in left. Everything else stays the same besides Hism coming into pitch.
Another play coming across. Really nicely done. Keegan Wade playing some of the best shortstop you'll see.
Just really good actions through the ball. I mean, it's very smooth. It's aggressive but smooth, and that's what you look for in a shortstop.
Keegan Wade, 2nd team All-Catholic this year.
And Jack, bring me one more time through those defensive changes.
So Caden Schmidt moves from center over to right field. Caleb Ward comes in off the bench to play center field. Alex Hism moves from right field to the pitching position.
Foul ball there.
So do we have a defensive specialist there in center field?
Caleb Ward's very good on defense. He courtesy runs a lot for Luke Borgman before those sophomores from JV got called up. Caleb Ward, number 21, only has 19 plate appearances, but he's got 10 runs scored and 3 hits and 3 RBIs.
This should stay in play. Heading back towards the shortstop, Keegan Wade. You saw that backspin, bringing that back towards the shortstop position. 2 outs, 2 putouts for Keegan Wade.
Keegan Wade's doing it all by himself, puts LaSalle up, and now makes 2 quick outs himself here in the top of the 5th.
And when you say puts LaSalle up, right, had the double to the right field corner that scored 1 runner. Now 7 hits for LaSalle, 4 for Conwell-Egan. Swung on and missed. Brady Guzzi trying to put that one onto the expressway as well. A ball, no balls, 1 strike, beg your pardon. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And this does feel like key moments here in this game. Can Hism go 1, 2, 3 through the lineup? He's up, no balls and 2 strikes. And what do you do here? Kind of overwhelmed him with the fastball twice. Do you slow down the barrel?
You got options. I mean, Jack said he's an emotional guy. He wants to, so, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws another heater, but the smarter pitch is probably, you know. That's a good pitch there, though, elevated a little bit away. It sets you up to go. You go in with a fastball, you could go to your breaking stuff here. So it's a smart pitch, and it gives you options here.
Here's the 1-2, and that one misses outside as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What I like about Hism, boy, does he move quickly.
Oh, yeah. And he's fired up at all times, but especially if he strikes out the MVP.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled away. Stays in the at-bat. Brady Guzzi. I'm a little partial to the guy, of course, Jimmy, but this type of pace reminds me of my younger brother, Kevin, who you played with.
And the thing with those guys, there's nothing better than as a defender playing behind those guys because they keep you engaged.
The 2-2 again. On deck hitter, keep your head on a swivel.
With Kevin, you always knew what you were going to get. He was going to throw strikes. So, you know, if you go out there, you play good defense, and then as a hitter, you're not standing out in the field for a while. You're back in, you're ready to hit. So it does more than just what you're doing on the mound. It really helps the whole team.
Here's the 2-2 again. Tries to dot the inside corner. He's got him. Strike 3. Huge pitch and a big moment. He goes 1, 2, 3. Hism does, coming out of the bullpen through the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the Conwell-Egan lineup. If LaSalle hangs on to win this one, that half inning will go a long way in doing so.
You know what's even more impressive, Bob? It wasn't really a bullpen because he was playing out in the outfield, so on less warm-up time, just coming in. Great job there by Hism.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back for the bottom of the fifth. And a good moving game here from the University of Pennsylvania. This is the Catholic League Championship on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair.
Bryson Clark up to the dish, and there's Dennis Higgins, who you mentioned about. He's on the hop to third base there as we get going in the bottom of the fifth inning. CJ Cuevas back for his second inning of work. That's off the end of the bat, and it allows it to fall in between the second baseman and the right fielder.
And that's Bryson Clark's 40th career hit as a LaSalle Explorer.
Another hit for LaSalle early in a count.
And thanks to Jack McGuire helping us to put together some graphics for these very occasions, the 40 hits for Bryson Clark. Well, Sal not afraid to swing first pitch. They take a get-me-over curveball that just misses the zone for ball one. He awaits the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Really good tailing there. Slider just buried in the zone. Luke Borgman up at the dish. We mentioned something in the last inning. Colin Target, the pinch runner that came in for Alex Hism. And Jack, you mentioned the point, and it was a really good one because coming in from right field, right, you only get 8 pitches. And with him getting a hit, that's tremendous. But, you know, how do you then get your requisite amount of pitches to get warmed up? So that's why Kyle Werman went ahead and took out Hism, able to get some pitches in the bullpen. Re-entry rules apply at the high school level. That's terrific knowledge and execution by the head coach of LaSalle, Kyle Werman.
He knows all sorts of those rules with re-entering and what you can do and what you can't do at the high school level. On senior day, it was amazing. He got literally every single senior some playing time, which is hard to do with positions.
The 1-2 pitch, and it hit him. That one's not going to hurt as a spinning curveball grazes the left arm of Luke Borgman. He'll take that any day to get maybe the hottest hitter out there right now. Ronnie Raby up to the dish.
Good job by Borgman there, holding his ground. Lots of times it's your natural instinct to jump out of the way of a ball, and getting hit in some ways is a skill, and that's a good job, you know, just staying in there and taking it and taking your base.
And don't get confused here. Jack Malley now courtesy runs for Borgman. I promise you he's not going to get any time on the hill, so that's just give him a break.
Well, yeah, courtesy runner for the catcher anytime you want it at the high school level. Now nobody out. And that's one there where if you're the pitcher, and they did, they are asking the first base umpire, the umpire at home will not even grant the ask. Did he pull this back in time? You kind of get some leeway there. He was pulling it back. That's a good decision there, and not even to really entertain that ask.
And we saw a bunt shown there by Raby. He pulled back in time, but Ronnie Raby and Keegan Wade with back-to-back bunts against Bonner Prendy earlier this year sparked that 11-5 win.
This is a huge spot here, Jimmy. I mean, 6 outs for Conwell-Egan to work with offensively here. It's a good bunt that should do enough to move up the runners. They take the out at first. Well done by Raby.
That's a great bunt. Coming from a guy who's had great at-bats all day. You know, as a hitter, you want to swing it with guys out there, but really well executed. And it looks like we got a call here. They're going to send the runners back. I'm not sure why.
Why are they sending the runners back? I missed that entirely.
An interference, a slide? I'm not sure if I saw a slide. Or are they going to get Raby for running out of the baseline to first? Yeah, and what Kyle Werman is explaining here, you get a straight line because you're a right-handed hitter.
That's
early
right.
on, you might seem to be in a little bit inside that foul line, but running straight, you know, at the high school level with the 2 bags. He's arguing that he was where he needed to be when he did. So a tough break for LaSalle after a really good bunt.
Yeah, that's a bad call. There was nothing to that. I agree with you.
Especially with a throw coming from where it was, you're really not in the way. That's always been an odd rule, an odd baseball rule in my opinion, that the baseline is technically to the right side of the foul line.
Yep.
90% of the time you're not in there, so.
Swung on and missed there by Keegan Wade.
What's great about Coach Werman is we could tell what he was explaining to the umpire based on his gestures, even though we couldn't hear him.
But that's a big play. I mean, that could really change the dynamic of this inning.
Boy, that's tough. That is a difficult call to explain. Jimmy, you explained it really well. The bunt was right back to the pitcher, so that throw was not impeded at all by where Raby was. And coming from the front of the box from the right-hand side, you're naturally going to come across the plate to the north side, if you will, and then you do get that straight line. I get it. You have the safety base here at the high school level. You don't have that at the professional level. You don't see that there, but really difficult call and an unnecessary one in that moment.
I'm not even sure who made the call, if it was the first base umpire or the home plate umpire.
Keegan Wade can erase some of that frustration right now for the LaSalle faithful. As he pops that one up, it's gliding towards the out-of-play line. It's going to be close, and it is a fair ball. It landed fair. 1 run will score, and they're going to get an out at third for the second out of the inning. It's a really good cutoff play there by Conwell-Egan to lull that runner to sleep, and that is that pinch runner that got tied up there at third.
Yeah, interesting play there. Ran into an out at third, but still scored one, and we've seen that with the balls here with this stadium being a little bit kind of tucked back here. Those balls that look like they're going foul or towards the lines are going to push back with their spin. And that's a classic case there where you really got to, you know, you're running hard trying to make a play on the ball, and you don't realize it's coming back towards you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but you saw Keegan Wade slowing down as he was rounding first. There was a little bit of an issue against the Calvert Hall Cardinals earlier this year where Caden Cortez passed Alex Hism on the base path, so definitely learned. Coach Werman wasn't happy. Keegan Wade definitely learned from that moment not to take a risk and pass anybody, so he slowed down there.
Right, because the runner was holding up there, sure. And Wade takes off. Got a great jump. Won't even be a throw. You don't often see that, stealing third base with 2 outs, but if you have the jump, you have the jump. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, I don't know how that was officially scored. I see there's 3 errors. I didn't have a sense for what it was before that hit. I don't know if that actually touched the left fielder's glove, Chase Garofalo. It might have been a gimme
hit,
double
yeah.
there. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just missed low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Because it wasn't an easy play regardless. It was a long way to go. Off the bat, it definitely looked like it had a chance to drop.
And that would give Keegan Wade another RBI.
And another double. Here's the 2-1. Grounded towards short, handled there on 3 hops. And a good stretch at first by Brady Guzzi to end the frame, leaving a runner on third, but LaSalle gets a run for the 3rd straight inning. And they lead 4-2 after 5. Bob Long, Jimmy Herron, Jack McGuire alongside. Jack, let's turn it to you. I know you have some history on the Philadelphia Catholic League Baseball Championship over the years.
Yeah, just first for LaSalle, they've won 12 total PCL championships, going 6-6 in championship games at Big 5 schools, winning 4 at Temple's Ernie Field and 2 at LaSalle University, while dropping 4 at LaSalle University and 2 at Temple's Ernie Field. This is their first time here at Penn, and the Explorers are looking to move to above 500 in championship games at Big 5 schools. Kind of ironic, you got the LaSalle Explorers, not the university, though. That would be another Big 5.
You're like our very own Elias Sports Bureau or something, man. That's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
The other 5 championships LaSalle won, not including the one decided in the regular season in 1946, took place at Ben Salem High School, Immaculata, and 3 times at Widener University. The other 3 they lost happened at Newman and twice at Widener.
You remember some of those, Jimmy. Good and
a
bad,
couple,
right?
yeah.
Widener,
yeah,
man, that's what I remember.
That was a heartbreaker there.
Yeah. That was a tough one indeed.
And that was a year where we thought that was our last game. And we had to sit back and wait for a while to see if we
what was it? You were waiting to see what happened with Bonner, I think?
We needed to see if we could still have a chance to be the 4A bid,
right?
If I remember correctly.
Well, it's not like you made the best of it or anything, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You play with house money like that, gives you a good shot.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. Rob
there
Johnson. Say hello to everybody, Rob. There you go. Rob Johnson with WEXP Media. Good to have him in the booth and his support all year long. We really appreciate it. But, yeah, there were a couple games at Widener back in the day, Jimmy, that you guys were part of. And I don't know. Let's talk about 2012 as we get into the 6th inning here as well. The first state championship, that was your freshman year. You would come in, certainly play, I believe, some outfield and certainly some pinch runner situations. You were involved in a really, really important play in the state championship game, if you remember that one. Could you walk us through that play?
Yeah, I was, we were talking earlier in the game about pinch running or coming off the bench. I would often run for our catcher. And I came in, I think he hit a double. I came into second.
And that's, of course, Corey Bayata, by the way, right? Philadelphia Catholic
League. And I was running a lot
division.
that year because I think he hit 500.
Catholic League MVP that year. Popped up and out of play, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But I was a runner on second. There was a ground ball to short. It was kind of right at me. It's one of those reads where you should probably go back. But I took off.
Yeah.
Aggressive slide into third, and it was bang, bang. Luckily, I was safe. But I'll never forget the look Joe Parisi gave me when I came up from that slide.
You know what?
Thinking I may have just ran into an out. But to this day, I've never admitted to him, but I still tell him it was a good aggressive play. And
I'm with you.
Got me in,
Listen, I think you guys scored 2 runs in that inning in a 3-1 game.
Yeah, it's a close game, so, all those plays matter.
Yep. That was a great, great game. It was quick, too. It was about an hour and 20 minutes because you had the young man, I can't remember the name right this instant, from Council Rock South. And then you had Kevin Long pitching for LaSalle.
Yeah, 2 guys work quick, throw a lot of strikes.
Donnelly,
Good
maybe?
defense.
That one's hit into left field, right at the left fielder, well positioned, and makes a good play on the ball. Michael O'Connor has had a great year at the dish, good year in left field, and records out number 1.
Good swing, good play. Those line drives right at you can be tricky to read off the bat. He did a good job of not making his break too soon and letting the ball come to him.
The other thing I remember about that 2012 team, Jimmy, was just how many so you were the freshman, certainly, and got all that time, but so many seniors on that team, right? You think about P.J. Acierno in left and Ryan Otis in center and and Tyler Kosniewski in right, Mike Piscopo right at third base, Corey Bayata, like we mentioned. It was really just Dom Cucci and Chris Melillo.
Yep.
That were not underclassmen, but not seniors. Colin Pine up the middle, right? Kevin Long pitching, but Cucci would play shortstop and pitch. That one's in there for called strike 3.
Nice
out
pitch there.
number 2. And this team looks very similar to that 2012 team. It's part of the reason I bring it up. You go down the lineup, and it's really just Michael O'Connor, who made that nice play in left field, the sophomore, Caden Cortez, the junior, and now Alex Hissam, the junior. Beyond that, very senior laden, and that's the type of team that can make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah, senior-heavy team. 2012 was like that, and with good pitching, good defense, and an experienced club, you can definitely the formula to make a run deep into the state playoffs.
Jake McLean with 2 outs and nobody on. We mentioned him earlier, the Hatboro Horsham transfer. Bunts one towards second base, handled by Raby. 1, 2, 3 for Alex Hissam, and LaSalle is 3 outs away from winning a Catholic League championship. Hissam's come in, and he's faced 6 jacks. He's taken down 6. He's put 6 out. What a great job by Alex Hissam.
And Bob, like you were saying, one of the only non-seniors on this team that contribute. Coach Werman told me on senior day after the win that every year you go through and you're defined by your senior group, and this is a really special one, and they'll be even more special if they get this done here today.
One thing we learned about both of these clubs, this is, of course, a Catholic League championship, and so the institutions themselves, very, very important, the missions of both of these institutions. Both coaches told me that these teams by themselves and of their own accord pray the rosary, get together for prayer in the mornings, and that's just a terrific thing when you think about more than baseball and life lessons for these young men. 2 clubs that, one, are going to advance from this game and have, I think, a deep run, both of them, in their respective classifications, but that do it the right way, have great young men, and it's been terrific to watch this action here today.
Yeah, it's great stuff. As a young player, it's really important to value yourself as more than a baseball player. You know, just being a good person. You know, all these kids are good students and good people, and you know, baseball is a way to exemplify that and be a good competitor. But you know, it's really great stuff.
And 2 great managers as well, Jeff Manto, Kyle Werman, both of whom have had experience playing at the next level. Kyle Werman signed a free agent contract with the Mets, had some years in minor leagues and indie ball. Jeff Manto, 8 teams that he played for at the major league level, which was really, really interesting. I think I mentioned it at the jump, but one of the coolest stats is he's one of a handful of players in the history of Major League Baseball to hit 4 home runs in 4 consecutive at-bats. That was across 3 different games. He's a former Trenton Thunder manager, in addition to being hitting coach for the White Sox and the Pirates back in the day, and one of 3 Buffalo Bisons, after my heart there, with my family hailing from Buffalo back in the day, in their Hall of Fame and with his number retired. That's the number 30.
Yeah, 2 really impressive resumes from the head coaches, and it's reflected in the way these teams are playing.
Cuevas trying to find the zone. Alex Hissam, the relief pitcher, up at the dish, can help himself here as he is continuing his work in his extended save situation. Three balls, no strikes, as Cuevas can't seem to find the zone. 1 pitch at a time here if you're Cuevas. 7-8-9 for LaSalle. And that one finds the outside corner. A called strike 1. I want to thank our buddy Jack Burns out there doing camera in amongst the fans. It's a heck of a perch for him, and he's done an awesome job all year long for us on camera. And he missed on 3-1. Cuevas misses the zone, and Hissam is on again with yet another leadoff base runner for LaSalle. That's been one of the stories of the day, Jimmy. Even in the only 2 frames of the game where they did not score, the first and the second, they had leadoff runners on in each of those innings.
Yep, guys on every inning. They didn't cash them early, but if you do that consistently over a whole game, it's probably going to pay off, and that's what you're seeing here a little bit later. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going. LaSalle utilizing the pinch runner again.
Matthew Wombold, DHing this year, as we talked about. He had an injury in the shoulder area in February, which affected his throwing and his swinging, and so he was out until the early stages of the season. Pulls back on the bunt, 1 ball, no strikes. He comes back for his first game. First time he gets on base. He's leading off first, and there's a pickoff move. He dives back in, jams his shoulder into the base, and all of a sudden was out again. Still is unable to really throw the baseball the way he would need to play regularly, but he got his DH spot. He's done well in the time since he's been back, and he can really open this one up here. With nobody out, a man on first in the 6th.
And Gavin McPeak is the courtesy runner at first. We've seen a variety of courtesy runners for LaSalle today. Coach Herman trying new things. Well, not new, but trying different things here in a championship game, mixing it up.
Yeah, and McPeak looks runnerish over there at first. You see some pre-pitch movement. Werman putting on signs between pitches. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to be aggressive. Maybe not this hitter, but at some point in this inning.
Tap towards third. Going to be a tough play for McLean. He's going to take the out at first, out by a half step. Good play to charge there by McLean. Break down there, Jimmy, and work through that ball to fire it over to first in time.
Yeah, good play. That's when you got to read quickly. You know, off the bat there, you can't get the guy at second. So good job just working through that play, getting your out. And for LaSalle, it kind of works as a artificial sack bunt there. You're able to get the guy over, runner in scoring position.
And with the top of the lineup. Caden Cortez has had a great day here today, a great season. 2nd team All-Catholic League. A bouncing slider for ball 1. 1 out in the inning. McPeak, the runner at second. Wonderful pitch. Spotted perfectly on the outside corner, a ball and a strike. They're working hard, Conwell-Egan is, to hold McPeak at second base. The right side of the infield wide open for Caden Cortez if he gets another fastball on the outside half. That's a good job there to hold off on that pitch.
Yeah, Egan's done a good job of holding runners at second base. There was a 2-out single earlier in the game that LaSalle had to hold up on because the runner didn't get a good enough secondary, and that's credit to them, and they're doing a good job here.
Grounded to third base. Tough play from McLean, and that's ruled foul. I don't know. Jimmy, what'd you see from your angle?
It looked fair from up here.
Yeah.
It looked like his foot was on the bag.
He fielded it on the bag, essentially.
So I don't know if we're going to see this. Who actually called that? Because that is the home plate umpire's call.
That looks.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
Looks fair.
It looks fair, and the home plate umpire did not actually make a call. It was the third base umpire shielded behind the third baseman. Listen, did a little bit of umpiring in my day. Before third base, that's the home plate umpire's call. It's anything past that point where it's the third base umpire's call. That's a mistake, and could be a big call there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hammered into left field, chases the left fielder back, but he's under it now. 2 outs in the inning. And it'll be Caden Schmidt, last year's MVP in the Philadelphia Catholic League, this year's Offensive Player of the Year in the Philadelphia Catholic League. And Jeff Manto will not wait any longer. That'll be it for CJ Cuevas. And we'll see who they go to. He was pointing to the bullpen out in left field. And here comes the relief pitcher. Interesting story, by the way, on relief pitchers as we wait to meet our next relief pitcher, Alex Hissom, one of the funniest and I think the best baseball stories that I've heard. He had earlier in the season pitched against Father Judge. Maybe, Jack, you know where I'm going with this. But Alex Hissom started the game in right field, came in the inning to get out of a jam, did so. And then all of a sudden, in the bottom half of that inning, LaSalle scores a bunch of runs and puts some distance between themselves and Father Judge. So Kyle Werman takes him out, sends him back to right field. Guess what? Father Judge starts coming back some more. Who does he pull back into the game but Alex Hissom for his second appearance of the game without ever leaving the field? Right field to the pitcher's mound and back to right field. And he got out of both jams, both times. One of the more unique stories you'll see.
And that just shows Coach Werman knows all the rules about who can re-enter and who can come in.
But again, no re-entry at all. Never left the field, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about re-entering as the pitcher.
Sure. Oh, yeah. No rule against that.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen that.
Kyle Werman told me it was the first time he's ever done that in his career as well.
And in that game, he made sure with the umpires before he did it, he told them that he can do it.
Yeah,
he didn't
make
ask.
sure they know the rule
he told
before.
them that he can do it because he was planning on it. So he wanted to make sure it didn't cause any trouble with the Father Judge coach when that time came around.
Anthony Womack comes in to pitch. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings this year. He's given up 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. It's actually the fourth most innings pitched by any Conwell-Egan pitcher. So they've gotten through this year, generally speaking, with Guzzi and Cuevas, and LaSalle has chased both of them here in the Catholic League final.
And that's crazy because Womack's a Penn State Brandywine signee. So college guy doesn't get a lot of opportunity because you have those 2 power arms.
Well, and I'm guessing he might be going for something other than pitching, right? Maybe that's not right. I don't know. We haven't seen him many at-bats this certainly not today. I don't think he's had an at-bat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Womack doesn't have an at-bat on the season.
Good point there, Jack.
And that's a really big insurance run out there for LaSalle. The difference between 2 runs and 3 runs late in the game is.
And now confirming with the bench coach for Conwell-Egan specifics on the substitutions. It shouldn't be much, right? It should just be Cuevas out and Womack on. Now here's Schmidt. Up to the dish.
And they're going to intentionally walk him.
Okay. Bryson Clark, the Bucknell commit, comes up to the plate with an opportunity to make that one hurt. I'd do the same thing. I think that's the right move. Yeah, base open, offensive player of the year.
Good left-handed hitter behind him, though.
Yep. Curveball missed for ball 1.
Bob, we were talking about Clark's milestone that he reached earlier this game, 40 hits on his career. A home run here would mean 40 RBIs as well.
Here's the 1-0 from Womack, and that is hit hard. It's hit deep. Chases the right fielder back. Forget that. Long gone.
I feel like a genius, Bob.
What a call by Jack.
Bryson Clark opens this game up. The biggest home run of his high school career.
40 hits and 40 RBIs on the career reached in the same game. Bryson Clark, what an outing here in the PCL championship.
Yes, sir, and thanks again to our buddy Jack McGuire who comes up with the graphic of the day, Bryson Clark.
And he's fired up, as he should be. There's nothing better as a hitter than you have an intentional walk in front of you, and he steps up there. He wasted no time. He got something up, and that's a big-time swing. Might have landed on 76.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? It caught the top part of the netting and bounced back onto the field. But that one was not even close. That was hammered way out of here. Look out in the Conwell-Egan dugout. That was ripped by Luke Borgman. Tell you, this has to give you a ton of confidence if you're the LaSalle Explorers. Catholic League Championship, the hubcap, it's always part of the goal. And this game is not over either. But knowing that there's more baseball to play, win or lose here. And to think, Jimmy, you've seen these playoffs a couple of times, right? Those two pitchers that LaSalle just went against are two of the best that they'll see from now until as far as they go in the state tournament. And to be able to come in, chip away, have runners on in every single inning, that's hammered to left center field. That's going to get down as well. It was a good diving play, couldn't quite come up with it. Garofolo had it go off his glove, and Borgman strides into second. So close there by Garofolo, a heck of an athletic play. But Borgman hit it really well.
Yeah, great effort to even be able to get to that ball. Showed some range. Good dive. Great swing by Borgman. LaSalle's really had great at-bats all day. You talked about the arms they saw early in the game. Able to put together good at-bats, and you can get through those two arms, and you see him putting some really good swings on the ball late in the game here.
And another pitching change.
Looks like it'll be Keegan Johnson.
Coming in from shortstop, I think.
He's only thrown 3 2/3 innings on the year. He struck out 7 in those 3 2/3, giving up just 1 hit and 1 run. Bring you back inside the broadcast booth. Bob Long, Jimmy Herron, Jack McGuire alongside. A tattoo that time by LaSalle's big lefty, Bryson Clark. Almost put it onto the expressway. Opened this game up 7-2 over a Conwell-Egan club that has played unbelievable all year long, deserves to be here. They're going to be a force, Jimmy, to be reckoned with for a long, long time, as long as Jeff Manto decides to keep coaching here, and they have a ton of talent. This is a very impressive output from LaSalle.
Yeah, considering the arms they've faced. You mentioned Manto, and they have a lot of talent. He's done a great job developing them, and LaSalle coming in facing legit arms. They were able to put together good at-bats, and you got to put together a full game in the playoffs, and they've shown that today.
LaSalle came into this season as well, maybe even more impressively. They knew that they had the hitters coming back. By the way, Kyle Werman compared this. I know you were in the midst of your playing career, but in terms of him, compared this to the 2018 team in terms of the offensive output and firepower. Right, those are the Andrew Cassetti teams of the world. And Joe Miller was on the mound at the time, and that's high praise for these guys. This team didn't have a Joe Miller coming in. They had exactly 1 inning pitched the prior year that returned. Every other inning pitched last season was by a senior that moved on to the next level. And that was, believe it or not, Caden Cortez, who we haven't seen a ton of this season. That was the only inning thrown by someone less than a senior in 2025 for LaSalle. And so Colin Weiss, who of course has been on the varsity roster for 2 years, over 3 years really, but 2 in a role where he wasn't able to pitch. But he came on and gave great stuff all season long. Hissam has been really good.
Yeah, credit to those guys making big strides in the offseason, working on their game. A complete lineup from LaSalle.
Grounded towards third. eats up the third baseman a little bit, but McLean, he stays with it and gets the out. A nice stretch by Brady Guzzi, and Guzzi hurt himself on that stretch. Oh, you don't like to see that at all at this stage in the game. A full state tournament run coming ahead for Conwell-Egan.
He's a little hobbled. Let's hope he's okay.
And Bob, a positive thing for LaSalle, Luke Borgman with that double. Coach Werman ruled it as a double, not an error. Luke Borgman reaches 50 career hits.
Oh, yeah, that's no error. Yeah, the diving ball in left field, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So 50 hits on Luke Borgman's career as an Explorer.
And just like that, as we always seem to, because of our buddy Jack, we have the graphic to show you. There's the milestone for Luke Borgman. It was a well-hit ball. And a 7-2 lead for LaSalle heading to the 7th. So if this is it, and we'll bring you again one last time inside the booth. Jimmy, welcome to the broadcast booth. What do you think for your first time?
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You make it easy. I mean, come out here, watch these kids play. Talk a little ball. It's been fun.
It has been fun. One of the best to ever do it at LaSalle. Jimmy Herron, one of the best to do it at Duke as well for his time there. Long minor league career. And Jimmy, if you liked it so much, then we'll have to talk again in the fall because, you know, you were a half-decent football player. I don't know if people know that.
Yeah, I'll have to see what that's all about. I don't know if the flow of the play-by-play is a little different on the football field, but
a little bit. It's fun. In some ways, it's easier. I don't know, Jack, what do you think? What's easier, football or baseball?
I think baseball, it's kind of more laid back. You can have more conversations.
Sure.
In football, there's more going on for you to talk about. So both are pretty.
A lot of numbers running around on the field.
Yeah, both are fun. Bob does a good job keeping up with all those numbers.
Jimmy, were you following along at all as Joey O'Brien? We hinted at it at the top of the broadcast as he had his unbelievable season and some of your records were at play. Some went down, some didn't. Did you follow last year's LaSalle
Yeah,
baseball
absolutely.
team?
When I could, I would definitely, I'd check in with your streams, which were awesome. Follow the team. And, I mean, he definitely deserves it. He's an unbelievable player.
He graduated yesterday or 2 days ago from LaSalle High School, as did some of those other seniors, Gavin Sidwar, Grayson McHugh, Des Ortiz. There are plenty of other. Lucas Johnson I saw out of the secondary. A great senior class. Danny Lawyer from the offensive line. I feel bad, Jack. I know I'm missing some people. Jimmy Mahoney.
Did you say J.P. Oates?
J.P. Oates,
I mean, so
that's
many
right.
great players on that team, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's great seeing them win it all. They deserved it. Put together really good careers, really good group.
And Bob, I know Lucas Johnson's actually watching this.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shout out Lucas Johnson and anybody else from that team. Mr. Reliable, right?
Yeah.
Chris Heck. Saw him walk down the aisle and get his diploma yesterday. Was thrilled to be there. C.J. Cuevas comes up to the dish, top of the 7th, down 5. Hissam trying to get 3 outs. That'll help. A curveball in there for strike 1. Waved and missed by Cuevas.
LaSalle with a bit of cushion here, but as a pitcher, you definitely want to get ahead. 5 runs is a good cushion, but it's not. Seen crazier things.
That's in there for called strike 2. A 2-seam fastball riding on the outside corner. Outfield straight away. Hissam moving quickly again. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Blew it by Cuevas. 1 out in the 7th.
Really good job just coming out and attacking, and that's what you got to do in this situation.
7 for 7. 7 up, 7 down for Hissam since he came on in the top of the 5th. Right at the knees, maybe a hair below for ball 1. Garofolo That's a called strike. Tried to check, but it was in there anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. The left fielder, Garofolo, trying to keep the dream alive here. Grounded towards short. Wade's been unbelievable all day. Never a doubt. Good stretch there by Borgman at first. Beg your pardon for Bryson Clark at first. 2 outs.
2 quick outs. Good play by Wade. We've seen him make a couple spectacular plays. More routine one there. Just work through it and good throw. And
here's Colin Laverty. Good pitch that time by Hissam. Just missed on the outside. 1 more out will win LaSalle another Catholic League baseball title. Towards shortstop, and it's over his head and into left field. Good job by Laverty to fight off that inside pitch. 1 on, 2 outs.
Coming into this one, Conwell-Egan 2-4 in PCO championship games. This is the second time these 2 teams have met in the championship game, and it has been 21 years since that game. 2005, LaSalle defeated Egan 4-3 at LaSalle University.
Runner goes. That's going to head towards second base, and again, a cue ball finds its way just over the second baseman's head. That one was more of a jam shot from the inside of the bat, but Johnson on.
yeah, still well executed pitches from Hissam. Credit to Egan, just putting the ball in play. Think things will happen. So they got a couple base runners here, but if you're LaSalle, you just need an out, so you keep throwing strikes.
The tying run is in the hole. Free tag at the dish. Guzzi on deck. And that is into left field. It again will now get by the left fielder. It got down. 1 will score. A second will score. They're going to send free tag to third. And just like that, it is 7-4. But more importantly, you have the MVP of the league at the dish and Connor Lando. He's on deck, and he would represent the tying run. So things get interesting very quickly.
They always
Jimmy.
do. They always do. Tying run still on deck. So you got to keep attacking.
But if you are Conwell-Egan, who else would you want in this situation but Brady Guzzi? Guzzi hitting .364 on the year, leads the team in extra base hits with 12, leads the team in RBIs with 18. All he needs to do, though, is get on base. Hissam brings it home, ball 1. Maybe a little bit of nerves amongst the LaSalle faithful right now that have come from Windmore for this one, and for those watching all around the area. Swung on and missed. Boy, he challenged him, and why not, right? His base runner doesn't matter. Whether it's by walk or a triple, it does not matter.
If you're Egan, your only focus is you just want to get the next guy to the plate, and if you're LaSalle, you're just trying to continue to attack and force the hand.
And he's gotten it to 1-2. That was a pretty nice catch, by the way. That came off the top of the net, bounced back, and Hissam camped under it and made the play. Well, it's not supposed to be easy to win a Catholic League championship. The MVP in the box. LaSalle's reliever, Alex Hissam, comes set. Here's the 1-2. It's hammered and it is long gone. Long gone. Brady Guzzi is going to limp his way around the bases. I don't believe what I just saw.
I was going to say, that looks familiar, huh? I mean, what a swing. Guzzi's a little hobbled, but didn't look affected on that swing, I must say. And just like that.
7-6. And can you believe this? Connor Lando is one swing away from tying this baseball game. So who does Kyle Werman go with, or does it require one more leap of faith in Hissam, his reliever? Of note, this is the second time that these first 3, now 4 hitters have seen Hissam.
You got Drew Welsh, senior pitcher in relief, Dean Ryder Jr., got Caden Cortez. You got a lot of options, but Alex Hissam has gained the trust all season, so looks like they're going to rock with him.
There was no doubt about that home run from Brady Guzzi.
Considering we're at Tommy Lasorda Field, I think he was the manager for the Dodgers on that game, wasn't he?
You know what, Jimmy?
Funny.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? That's a great call. Breaking ball just off the plate, maybe a hair high. 1 ball, no strikes to Connor Lando. Second in the league in RBIs. He pops it up to left field. It is playable. Coming on to make the play, and it drops in between Wade and O'Connor. O'Connor did not get a good jump on that baseball. That was in the air for an eternity, Jimmy.
Yeah, that was up there. Kind of no man's land. I think O'Connor was looking to wait a little bit, but if you're an outfielder and you got a chance to make a play coming in, that should be your ball.
Now the 5-hitter, Tommy Kalita. A guy that Jeff Mantel wasn't sure if he'd even play this year, if he would earn his spot at catcher. He did. And he's got the biggest at-bat of the season thus far. No balls and a strike. Seven, 6. An unbelievable 15 minutes of baseball that's seen 7 runs put on the board. It took what was a 4-2 lead, made it 7-2 LaSalle on the huge home run by Clark. And now it's 7-6 after the home run by Guzzi. That's hammered to left field and tails foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Good swing there. A little pesky pull down there and left, too.
It sure is. So what do you do now? You're up 2, but man, he's ahead of the fastball. You slow it down further, don't you, Jimmy?
I think so. He's definitely, he's way out in front on that.
Hissam comes set. The 0-2 pitch. That's into right field. A line drive. They'll go station to station. 2 men on.
Great
a 1-run
swing.
game.
They refused to die. Really good job there. A 0-2 fastball away, a little off the plate. Stick your bat out, hit a line drive.
And Jake McLean is the 9th at-batter of the inning.
And this is interesting. We were told to look out for Dalton Johnson. He will impact the game today, is what Jeff Manto told us. And somehow, some way, he may have scored. I think he did score earlier when he came on as a pinch runner. But he represents the go-ahead run, 270 feet from home plate. McLean stands in. Hissam missed. McLean, a 250 hitter, has 1 extra base hit, 9 hits, and 3 RBI on the year. Two men on. Conwell-Egan is up 2-0 in the count, down 1 in the game. The go-ahead run is on first in the form of Dalton Johnson. Connor Lando is the tying run. He stands on second base. The 2-0 pitch to McLean. Fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Catholic League Championship on the line.
Doesn't get much better than this. 2 runners on, 7-6. Comeback from Egan here. 4 runs in the 7th. What a game.
And yet, if you're Alex Hissom, Jimmy, you need one
pitch.
Good pitch. That's all you need. Fouled away. He was well behind that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2 well-executed pitches there from Hissom with a 2-0 breaking ball to get back in the count. It's not easy to do. And 2-1 fastball. It's still a hitter's count there, and was able to execute on the outer part of the plate and put him in a good spot here to make a pitch.
We've seen a classic thus far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In there, called strike 3. Alex Hissom. He got the big pitch when he needed it. McLean goes down looking. And a dog pile in front of the mound. They had to wait a little longer for that one, Jimmy, than they thought they were going to.
Make it interesting, but a win's a win. Catholic League title for the Explorers.
They are hard to come by with some of the programs in this league, the Newman Gorettis of the world. Conwell-Egan, certainly. Archbishop Wood has had some really good teams. Father Judge. These titles don't come every day, and this LaSalle team returned just 1 inning pitched from last year. And neither of those guys threw today. But LaSalle is back on top. That is a story of resilience and a depth of talent that Kyle Werman has continued to manifest. What a game.
Awesome game. There were contributions up and down the lineup from both sides. Good pitching on both sides. You mentioned LaSalle developing those pitchers to go along with a really complete lineup. We saw the best stuff from Egan. Their top 2 guys threw the ball well. LaSalle with a big inning, Egan with a big inning at the end.
LaSalle wins 3 PCO championships in 3 days. Volleyball, lacrosse, and baseball. Good time to be an Explorer.
You're not kidding.
All the credit in the world to Alex Hissom. He's a junior. Could have just let Egan come back, minimize the comeback.
Yeah, it's a good job by him continuing to make pitches even after, a couple blue pits, a couple balls that could have been caught that weren't, for him to stay in the moment and continue to pitch and trust his stuff. He didn't waver, so that's an impressive. Not to mention the 2 innings he threw before this one. It was really great job by him coming out of the pen.
I really appreciated seeing Kyle Werman and Jeff Manto shake hands, a big hug. They clearly have a lot of respect for one another, and why not, with the pedigree on both sides. And when I spoke to each manager ahead of time, both of them beamed about the other. This is a fun moment right here, though, Jimmy.
The old hubcap in all its glory.
Talk about the road to get here. LaSalle takes down O'Hara with Cooper Weiss on the mound, 5-0. 1 seed versus 10 seed. Conwell-Egan took down Father Judge 6-0. That's a 2 seed versus a 9 seed. Then semifinals, LaSalle beat Newman 12-2, 1-4. And then Egan beat Wood 4-2 in a 2-3 game. Here, LaSalle takes down the Eagles 7-6. Bryson Clark, talk about what you need.
You needed all of them. You didn't know it at the time, but
you didn't know it at the time.
That big home run.
Earlier, you thought Bryson Clark's home run was just the icing on the cake. You look back now, saved the day.
Yeah, every run counts, and that's what a good offense does when they get some momentum, get some guys on, and they get a couple runs. You gotta press it and get as many as you can.
Another takeaway that I'll have, because listen, Philadelphia Catholic League teams, you got to stay together. Nobody in the PIAA wants anyone from the Catholic League, right? You got to stick together on these things. And what I would say is one thing I will be keeping an eye on is the health of Brady Guzzi. You hate to see that he came up limping after that stretch at first base. Unbelievable that he bombs a ball halfway to Lincoln Financial Field from here as well on a bum quad or whatever that was. But
he's a special player, and hopefully worst case there, it's maybe a strained hamstring or groin and nothing going on with knees or ankles. And
but those can take a while to heal as well. Those are no fun.
Yeah, they have games ahead, so hopefully he's not hindered by that.
Yep. So that you start to think about for Conwell-Egan is what does their road to a state championship look like if it is just Cuevas on the mound? And too early to say. Hopefully Brady Guzzi gets all the right work done, body work, medically, etc., just to get him healthy as he can be for the stretch run. And for LaSalle, things look good. They're going to play on Tuesday in a District 12 championship game. And then they'll move on, if they win that game, to the state tournament. That is a win or go home game on Tuesday for LaSalle at FDR Park. We'd be there calling the game if we didn't have the LaSalle Scholarship Golf Outing, which, by the way, if you haven't signed up yet, last chance to do so. Check it out on the LaSalle website. And thanks to everyone for their support. But we'll certainly be watching along, and maybe, Jack, who knows, maybe you'll be there, and we can pop that game on the broadcast when I'm on about the 15th hole. But
all right, that sounds good.
A couple under, hopefully?
I hope so. I hope so, man. I'd have to have a really good partner for that to happen. That's for darn sure. But as Queen plays, and probably takes our video to some sort of copyright infringement on YouTube, we leave you with the sights of a LaSalle championship. As Jack McGuire said to us, 3 titles in 3 days: volleyball, lacrosse, baseball. Congratulations to the LaSalle Explorers. What a feeling. And we'll bring you one last time into our broadcast booth. Jack McGuire, thanks for everything you've done with the program all year. I know you're not done. Thanks for being with us. It's always fun doing a game with you.
It's always fun doing it with you too, Bob. Thanks for making this happen today, and great to be in the box with you. So
yeah, great job. A lot of good points, a lot of good stats, facts. It was awesome, and you've done a great job with the streams throughout the year. Yeah.
And shout out Irv, the bus driver. What a guy.
Shout out Irv.
There he is.
The man, the myth. Oh, yes. Irv, let me talk to you in about 2 minutes. I appreciate you, partner. Live TV, we'll sign off, but thanks for all you do for LaSalle. You're the man. Jimmy, thank you.
Of course.
I hope this is not the last time we get you back.
Yeah, I think I'll have to come back for the state run. We'll see where it goes.
Awesome, man. Well, so Jimmy Herron, one of the best to ever do it. Say hello to all the gang from those 2012, 2014 teams. Tell the family I said hello, and keep up all the good work,
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate it, and thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun today.
Absolutely. Jack McGuire, Jimmy Herron, Bob Long, BITB out there. Jack, best in the business, Burns on camera. Thank you, as always, for being part of our team, and we will bid you all adieu from the University of Pennsylvania. What a game. An instant classic. LaSalle 7, Conwell-Egan 6. A hubcap raised and coming back to Windmore.